Welcome back,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, to Generations Behind, a retro video game podcast. I'm gonna remember this time. I'm Craig of Craig's Game Room. I am
Oh, I was hoping.
one of your three hosts. To the side
Nice
of
to meet you,
me,
Craig.
the almost late one, but freshly showered, not stinky, Mr. Zach Daily Beating. Zach, how are you today?
I am feeling very clean. Not as stinky as I was earlier, just my normal stink level.
The average stink.
Yes,
We were
my-
talking
my
off the
normal
show
level.
before because he said he was doing yard work. Tyler, you ever notice how when you pick a weed, your hand smells like dirt the rest of the day? Why is that? Why has God forsaken us?
I don't know. I guess it's just because we're supposed to stay inside and play games all day and not pick weeds.
I'll take it. You know what?
Pickweeds and Animal Crossing.
There you go.
Yeah, we do it on the game, not in real life. Yeah.
I remember when I was very young. Obviously we were all young, but when the first Animal Crossing came out, me and my sister were blown away that you could like wish all the weeds away in your town in the GameCube version. There's like that ghost that you could find. I don't remember the way to do it,
Oh,
but like you could, and it was like we never wanted to pick all the weeds. It would like become so out of hand so fast, and then we just wish them all away, and then our town rating was better, and we're like, oh my god, this is amazing. So that's a fun little memory. Below us, the luscious slut, Tyler Haight, Game Collecting Reaper. Tyler, how the hell are you?
I mean, me myself, I'm doing pretty good. Had a pretty good past couple weeks. I mean, I wasn't really doing much gaming. However, I'm a wrestling guy. WrestleMania happened. What was it? On Friday, I went to a hockey playoff game
Hell
for
yeah.
my local hometown team. They won. They're going to round two. Never really was into hockey, but my one friend is, and he was like, "Playoff games are great. You should go to one." So I did, and great. I actually bought a freaking hat.
There you go.
But yeah. So it's been pretty good.
Yeah, WrestleMania was in Vegas. It was the perfect excuse for you to come in and visit me.
It really was, and I contemplated it, but
Quite
tickets
literally,
were
WrestleMania
crazy
happened 10
expensive.
minutes away from my house, so...
If tickets weren't, I seen this video of these fans talking to Randy Orton, and then he was like, "Oh, where'd you guys sit?" And they were like, "Oh, we sat in like the lowers," and he was like, "How far back is that from front row?" And then they're like, "Oh, like we're still in like uppers, like we're not even on the floor." And he's like, "Well, how much did you guys all pay together for your tickets?" It was like 5 people. They were like 30,000.
Holy
I was
shit.
like,
That's crazy.
dude, last year when I went in Philly, my first night we were like nosebleeds. I paid like 300 something a ticket. Second
Damn.
night, we were lowers, not like four. We had decent seats, and I bought like relatively close to get like a little deal or something. It was like 7 something.
That's
I
crazy.
spent $1,000 to go to Mania essentially,
That's
and then bought a
crazy.
crap
That's
ton of
crazy.
merch. Yeah.
Wasn't that the one where Motionless in White came out, though, for Riot Ripley? Which was really sick?
Yep.
That was kind of cool. Because everyone always makes the jokes that they look like the same person, which is kind of valid, honestly. So, Zach, are you a Motionless in White fan? I need to know your take on some modern-day new metal
What is
metalcore
Zach?
music.
What is
I'm-
Zach's
I-
music take anyway? I don't even think
He told me he
I
doesn't
just
listen to
listened to-
music, except for game music.
Yeah, I basically just listened to a YouTube playlist called 75 Minutes of Relaxing and Calming Nintendo Music. Just kind of listen to that all day.
Okay.
Never anything upbeat or crazy.
Yeah, it depends. I mainly listen to video game music these days and then podcasts. I don't listen to like a whole lot of regular music unless I'm with people.
That's valid. What would you say is
I
your
made a
favorite
note
video
that-
game soundtrack? Could you pick one?
Oh my god. On the spot?
On the spot, what you got?
Oh shit.
There's a lot of good ones.
I
Really is.
I was gonna say Final Fantasy VII remake just to
That's valid.
appease our
And
friends that are
Jason
listening.
clicked off the video.
It just to appease people listening.
I don't know if either of these are my actual answer, but the first two that always come to mind for me are Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2. Those are the first two that usually come to mind for me, so... Yoko Shimomura
Xenoblade
didn't
1 is
do
very
everything in Xenoblade Chronicles 1, but most of the best songs on Xenoblade Chronicles 1 were done by her, so... Like the beautiful intro music from the main menu, and then, you have the opening cutscene, or the opening, cutscene / first fight in the game, and it's like the big dramatic orchestra music, and then you have the second part of it where it picks up and then it brings in the piano melody from the main menu music, and it's just like the most ethereal fucking feeling in the world. It's so good. Those 3 tracks in succession, some of the best music ever to grace a video game. It's so good.
Hey, Craig, before we keep going, can you please do a favor and check which mic you have selected?
Uh-oh.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Uh-oh. It's a good thing
Before
to
we
point
get
out.
2 hours into this,
Let's see. I think it should be right on my on mine. Nope, it did switch on Discord. Motherfucker. Alright, do I sound beautiful now?
Oh,
you
sound
sound
great.
so much better.
Man, that's
I
so
was
weird.
like, can I intervene and say this? And then you said it. I was like, all right, good.
Uh-oh. Maybe I should do a quick pause just to make sure it's recording right on Audacity now, too.
You're on hold.
Let's see here. How do I do this without stopping it? This is good podcast content. You guys talk about something else.
All right, so
Tyler-
Jack, oh, go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, when we do get to our topic later on in the episode, I did try my best to be nice, but I do have one that's a direct shot at Craig. And I think, looking at my list, I think you've been spared.
That's good. Well, it's because we got similar game tastes.
We're smart. We're
We
smart
both
and
like-
know what we're
yeah,
talking about.
We both like Gen 3. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull it up every time I say Gen 3.
At the hip.
Always ready to shoot it out.
Make sure to pull it right. Whip it out when you can.
Whoa.
Hey, whipping it out.
All right, I lied. I think I need to stop the recording real quick, so we're gonna stop. Back at it. Okay, we're good. So yeah, I think I have for my overrated games. I think I have a shot at Tyler and Zach, so that'll be fun, of course. But we do have a couple of write-ins to start the show, boys. First up, this is Patrick wrote in saying, "So I intended to finish Chrono Trigger, but life happened and I got stuck a little underleveled at the Golem at the Ocean Palace. So I'm still grinding and we'll get there. Can't wait to listen to that episode, even though Tyler spoiled it for me." I think we talked about that on the last episode, so we don't have to explain, but that was very funny. Oh yeah, topic of the show, underrated, overrated games. I don't even know if we mentioned that. Kind of mentioned that you have overrated games for each other, but yes, that's what we're talking about today. If you wrote in, thank you for writing in. Another write-in, though, not related to that. Jason wrote in, said, "Hello, Jason here, and I'm answering yes to Tyler's question as to make a suggestion of a game I would like all you fellas to play, as you may think it would be Mega Man. It's not. My suggestion would be Blaster Master on the NES. And then he said, "Oh, and Craig, there is someone who has Croc on the Sega Saturn, and that would be I." Have you guys had any history with Blaster Master on NES?
I've played, I can't remember, the Game Boy one, is it a similar version of it? I've played the one in the Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's the same game or not.
I'm sure it's different enough, but...
Similar game. But I've played Blaster Master. I don't know
That's the one where it's like the weird bug on the cover that's like this, right? Is that what I'm thinking of?
I think it's... I thought it was just the Blaster Master. Let me see.
The Blaster Master?
The
Maybe it's not a bug. I feel like there's something that looks like this on the cover. Like coming at an
No,
angle and
it's
blue.
it's the tank thing. The blaster, the
The
titular
Blaster
Blaster Master.
Let me see. I need to Google it to make sure. Master. Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm thinking of the right game. Yes, I am thinking of that one. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know if we can make a whole episode out of it, but maybe. I was actually thinking recently, I think it'd be fun for us to do like kind of like NES like grab bag videos almost, where it's like we do like just like a handful of NES video games for one episode, since so many of them are short. Like we did like an episode where like we cover like two or three or maybe even 4 games at the same time.
That'd be pretty neat.
I think that'd be fun. Also, Croc on the Sega Saturn, you say? Me too. I also have Croc on the Sega
Oh,
Saturn.
that's very pretty.
Right?
Man,
Nice,
got
beautiful,
that.
big cover art. I didn't have this version as a child, but I have it now just because I saw it at a game store and I had to have it because it's Croc. Apparently there is a well-known bug in the Saturn version of Croc where if you don't start the game up a proper way, I guess Croc's head just doesn't load in, which is really funny. So you can play a game with a decapitated Croc, so...
The hell?
Thought that was kind of fun. Yeah,
I gotta
apparently...
look that up.
Yeah, apparently it's a known bug on the Saturn version where it's like you have to start up the console without the disc in, you put the disc in, you let the console boot all the way up, then you close the lid and load into the game, and if you don't do it that way, I guess Croc's head doesn't load. So, that's kind of fun.
I just want to say apologies real quick. I think my neighbor started mowing, so if anyone hears mowing, just blame it on my neighbor who decided to start right when we started recording.
I hear it.
Go
like,
outside
when
and
you're
beat his ass. Tell him you're working.
I'm working out here.
We working on Sundays. Wait, what? Get over here.
But yeah, so this episode, Unrated Overrated Games. Next episode, Top 5 NES Games. I don't think Blast from Astro is going to be on any of our lists, because I don't think any of us have played it yet. But maybe in the future.
Give us a
Who
reason
knows?
to.
I know. Well, that's one of those things I think about sometimes. We do our list on our favorite games for systems, and I'm like, some of these eventually might have to go back to, because as we play more things, I'm like, man, Chrono Trigger would definitely be in my top 5 Super Nintendo games now, but that episode's already been posted.
We should definitely do a balloon fight episode.
Just balloon fight?
What if we had a bunch of black box Nintendo games? Like
golf.
Yeah, a bunch of the early
Tennis.
ones.
We play
That'd
them
be
all,
fun.
and then we rank them all.
Hey, at least Mario Brothers is going to be included in that. Super Mario Brothers and Mario Bros. So.
And balloon fight.
And Balloon Fight.
Don't
Can't
ignore
forget
it.
Balloon Fight. Why wasn't he a character in Smash Bros? That was a missed opportunity.
We need a balloon fight like Panzer Dragoon. Like we need like a.
So real shit. No, could it be Balloon Fight RPG? It's
There
like
you go.
Saga.
You're gathering
And
more
Knuckles.
balloons, and it turns into Up from that Disney movie. You put it on the house and you fly away.
Everybody's favorite Disney movie where somebody dies in the beginning.
And then they go up, and away.
I've actually never seen Up. I've only seen the beginning where the old lady dies, so I don't know if the rest of the movie's worth watching.
Wow.
Well, I guess you have to.
Okay.
We can be homework for the next episode.
Well, you're the
Yeah.
Disney head. Let me know. Is it worth it?
I liked Up. I mean, it's not like one of the ones I go back to, but I liked Up. It was a good movie.
What is the one you go back to? Like, you want to sit down and watch a Disney classic. What's your go-to movie?
I'm really personally connected to Toy Story. I love Toy Story, and I'm one of those people that's upset that Toy Story 4 exists, because I thought 3 ended at a very good spot. It's the only movie I can ever remember crying at the end of Toy Story 3, because it
And now they're making a 5th one?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, the end of Toy Story 3 hit like at the right time my age, where it was like, oh, Andy's growing up, I'm growing up, and then they're like, let's make a 4th one and ruin it, and then I was like, damn it, okay. Well,
But they had the funny Spork guy, so didn't it make it okay?
Movie was fine. I don't know. It kind of took away from the end of 3 though.
That's fair. Tyler, what's your go-to Disney movie?
I don't even know if I really have one, because a lot of Disney movies are kind of overrated in my opinion.
Whoa!
Nah.
Say Toy Story and let's get on with it.
I mean, Toy Story is a good one.
There we go. Okay.
There you go.
It's like a classic one, so
Lion King.
Still-
You like Lion King?
I maybe watched it like one time.
Damn.
So
Most underrated Disney movie, Emperor's New Groove. I love
always
the Emperor's
forget
New
that that's a
Groove.
Disney movie. Like I always like put it in this other box. Like it's just like some other animation.
Almost
studio.
feels like
I
it
always
falls
forget-
into like a Don Bluth category more than a Disney movie, right? It's very strange.
Yeah.
Should be with an American Tail and Anastasia and all those different ones, but nope. All about Emperor Kuzco. Alright, enough Disney talk. What the hell have we been playing, guys? Tyler, your list is
Snake.
short, so why don't you go ahead and go first?
all right, my list is short, just like me. So so really haven't been doing much gaming, as I talked about. Literally, I the one thing I didn't put on there, it's Call of Duty. I turn that on sometimes and play it. A lot of people think it's an overrated franchise. Yeah. I'll just say that out there. But Mega Man Zero, so started Mega Man Zero because I had the collection for like forever. Like first I was looking for a physical copy forever, wanted to find it in the wild, couldn't find one. Then eventually ran across one, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna play them. Never played them. So then just last night I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start it. And man, from not having like any experience with the original Mega Mans and going right to Zero, it is pretty difficult. There is an easy mode, but I'm not that type of guy. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm just pushing it through it. And then I beat this whole level, went to the next level, got like pretty far through it, and then I forgot to save prior to the beating the first level. So then I got all the way
Oof.
back to the beginning, and then I had to beat that level. And then, so yeah, it's been pretty good though. I'm enjoying
I was
it.
gonna say, isn't Zero... correct me if I'm wrong, is Zero Metroidvania kind of style games, or no? Or
not
are those
necessarily.
the
They're just like
ZX games? I thought that one of them was Metroid-ish. So
It might be the ZX games because this Zero
Okay.
one is just you do a mission, you go back to the base. You do a mission, you go back.
oh,
to
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always wanted to play those. Zero has a really cool design. He's just a dope looking character. So
Yeah, it's fun slicing people up with your sword too. Pretty good feeling. Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I have that collection for PS4. I would like to check it out eventually. But I'm kind of, since I started, with Mega Man from the beginning, I kind of feel like I just should work my way up to everything now. Just do the progression of time since I started that way. But still not in the mood to go back to Mega Man 4 yet. After the first 3 Mega Mans, I felt Mega Man'd out for sure. Game's whooped my ass.
If you go right to Zero, they got a lot more mechanics, and it's just.
There we go. It looks good. How's the music? Baller, just like every other
music's
Mega
really
Man
good.
game.
Music's really good.
I know. I love how those games almost have like a metal soundtrack for being like 16-bit. It's really cool. Little mix.
Yeah.
All right, Zach, why don't you go next? But the first game you have written down, why don't you go ahead and go last? So that way you could lead into me, since we have one similar game on our list.
Sure. So the first game I'll talk about, several months ago, Tyler and I were, or I guess Craig, you played Pokemon Yellow, but Tyler and I were trying to finish the Pokedexes of Pokemon Red and Blue. I put that down for a while, and I picked it back up this week. And I remember why I put it down is because I picked it up and I was in the Pokemon Mansion. And I had no idea where to. I kept getting confused on where to go. And I remember I put it down several times because I kept getting lost in there and just
It's so annoying.
fighting coughings
annoying.
over and over again. So eventually, I just looked up a guide and just walked through each. And I got through there like 10 minutes. And it was fine.
I remember I went in there, I got frustrated, I left, I bought as many repels as I humanly could, and then I went back and just kept using repels because I was so tired of it.
Well, I was so deep in there and I had no escape ropes. I had no repels, and all I had in my party was like a Mew, and they just couldn't kill it. So I just like I just couldn't do anything. I had to trudge through. And then what pissed me off is I did the Blaine gym, and you get to answer the questions to avoid the trainers or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Normally, when I'm playing a game for the first time, I'll fight all the trainers just for the experience. But I was like, I don't need to do this. I've played Pokemon 1,000 times. I'm gonna skip the trainers. And one of the questions is like true or false. Like Weedle evolves into Beedrill or something like that. Or it was one of like the bugs, and I was like, oh well, that's false. Weedle evolves into Kakuna,
And
it's like nope. That's true,
like,
actually. I'm like, no. Phrase it better than that, if that's what you mean.
Can't believe
it's
that trainer was like, well, actually.
Well, actually, yeah, I tried to. Well, actually, I'm actually the 30-year-old Pokemon game, but that kind of pissed me off. But yeah, it's fun. I'm finally over that hump. I have to go to the 8th gym now, and then I'll start cleaning up the rest of the Pokedex. I think I have like 90 of the 160, but Tyler and I got all the version exclusives traded over, so it'll just be like grinding the Elite Four for evolutions.
I think at this point, the 30th anniversary is definitely the time we got to put out that video. A little bit away, but
a year might be just enough time to get it done. Let's see.
yeah. Especially because I want to do like little skits in between and stuff. I mean, I'll talk to you more about it off show, but yeah.
Tyler's cooking.
Yeah, I'm cooking. That's gonna be like my most edited video, especially because I can't even edit a mystery box.
You're keeping the people waiting.
The box is sitting right there.
Gotta let it stew a little bit.
Yeah. The box.
Next thing I jumped back into this last couple weeks, Avowed. I really liked Avowed, but I put it down just because other games came out. And I put like a solid 10, 15 hours in over this last week. I think I'm at the very end. I'm in the last area. I think I can go to the last like dungeon thing. I'm trying to do a couple more side quests first, but that game's really good. It's basically like Elder Scrolls Light if you've played Oblivion or Skyrim. Just streamline all that, cut some trim down some of the features and just streamline combat, streamline side quest, a little quicker game, but it's still really good. But the two new games on the list, I'll try to be brief with them because I could talk all day on these. Blueprints. Have y'all heard of Blueprints?
I've heard of it, but I don't really know what it is besides it's like a puzzle game, kind of. But,
It's a first-person roguelite puzzle game. Basically, I'll try to be. It's basically you're going into a mansion and you go to a door, and the mansion is like building itself as you go through the game, and each kind of room has a different purpose, so you can get different items from, or different hints from, and different like you're trying to build the house on a 9 by 5 grid, which is what 45 things, and you're trying to get to the 46th room. The goal of the game is to get to the 46th room, and you do this by building the house. And like I said, certain rooms have certain items you can get in them, certain shops, certain hints or puzzles to solve. It's a really fun game. I'm at the end of it. I think I've gotten enough information. This game, the progression in this game is mainly information. You're taking notes and learning stuff. There's not like there's some true permanent progression, but most of it's knowledge based. I think I've gathered all of the knowledge I need to beat the game. But from what I've heard, rolling credits is like just starting the game. But I think I'm going to stop once I roll credits because I saw some people.
That. Why is that like a normal thing now?
It depends. So I think I've been very satisfied with what I have gotten out of this game so far. I think when I roll the credits, I will feel like it's a full experience. But I'm talking like 15, 20 hours to do that. Some people I'm now in an hour 120 and I'm still solving stuff. Like, I'm not going to be like those freaks. But good for them that's there. I feel like I have gotten plenty of satisfaction out of what I've played of the 15, 20 hours.
I just feel like so many games do that now. Like, I know Animal World did that last year, where it's like you beat half the game, the credits roll. This year I haven't played it yet, but Monster Hunter Wilds, everyone's told me that too. Yep. The credits roll, and then there's still like more like main story stuff to do. I'm just like, why is this becoming a normal thing? God forbid Gravity Rush did it. Gravity Rush 2 does it too, and that was a few years ago, but I remember that pissed me off too, that like the game ends and then it's like all the important plot stuff happens after that, and it's like if you aren't paying attention you just don't know, and I'm just like, why do games do that? It's one of my least favorite things.
Pikmin 4 did the same thing too. You roll credits on Pikmin 4 and then the second half of the game starts, like what the hell?
Even Pikmin 2, which is really old at this point now, Pikmin 2 the credits roll like 2 or 3 times, and I'm just like
yeah, so I can't speak to how much I'll like the quote-unquote ending, because I haven't seen it yet, but I've thoroughly enjoyed the game, and I feel like I have not missed anything by not doing all the extra stuff, which I don't plan on doing because I don't have time to play 100 hours in this random game. But it's on PS Plus Extra, so I didn't actually buy it, and if you have access to, I think it's on Game Pass too. Give it a go. The last game I played, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I'm going to try to keep it short. Sorry, because I just put a video out this morning about how much I love this game. This game's incredible, in my opinion. I think it does everything it tries to do super well. It's like borrowing from so many ideas from so many great games to make so far, I think this is easily going to be my game of the year, and I'm like halfway through it, not even. The combat is like turn-based, timing-based, like think of like Paper Mario or Mario and Luigi. But there's also a really cool parry system, and everything just looks so badass when you time it well. It's really flashy. It's really pretty. The music is incredible. The story is really deep and sad and fucked up. And it's just like it's very, very good. And it has a Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII, PS1 era overworld map where you're like big and you're running on the small world and you're running around to like the dungeons.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
It's so good.
That's awesome.
So good. I'm really enjoying it. This game is also on Game Pass if you don't want to take a risk on it, but it's only $50, so it's a budget title these days.
But it's also an indie game, and it looks better than most AAA stuff coming out right now. So,
yep. I saw people. Oh,
no, I'll just say roughly. Is there like a time frame on how long it takes? Like how long this game is?
I've heard 30 hours to beat, 60 hours to 100% is what I've heard, which is like very solid in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good time.
People were joking. It's called Expedition 33, which to get into, you'll understand what the 33 means in the story, but it was also made by 33 people, I think. So someone was joking. It's like, yeah, they just made it real fair. Everyone made 1 hour of the game, and then they all put their 1 hour together, and then and that's how they got the game.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's very, very good.
Man, I'm so excited to get to it. I have it, but it's on the back burner right now, which is I'll talk about that soon. But yeah, and then the last game that's on your list and on my list as well, Super Mario 64. Obviously, I don't think we want to go too deep on it because that's going to be our next game-specific episode.
Perfect game.
Perfect game. Perfect game.
Overrated. No, I'm kidding.
No, I actually beat it. I beat it quickly. I played it on my 3DS. There is a native 3DS port that has been made, so I played it on my 2DS XL. It's nice and beautiful. It has widescreen, whatever fits the full 2DS kind of aspect ratio. Played it a smooth, buttery 60 FPS on there. I got my 70 stars. I beat it. And I'll leave it at that for now. But if you want to give any quick thoughts, you can. Besides saying it's perfect.
Yeah, it's obviously I don't think it's a perfect game. I will say when we eventually do talk on this game, just preparing you, I will be softer on it because I love this game. It's like very close to my heart, so I ignore some of its flaws. But I did lose my hat on Tall Tall Mountain, and that did piss me off. I forgot how to get it back. But
Tyler,
anyway,
yes, sir.
I just want to say it isn't a perfect game because there is a game better than it, and that game is called Sonic Adventure. Thanks.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll get to that too.
That's true.
That'll be a whole other episode.
This is the first time I played it in a long time with an N64 controller because I played it most recently. Obviously, the 3D All Stars. I used a Pro controller, and then I played on the DS, which has like I played it. I think I most recently played it on a 3DS with the circle pad.
Oh, okay.
But I know, just like the holding my thumb kept slipping off of the analog stick. I guess it's just like how the N64 controller works. But like as I was playing, my finger would drift off of it. And I had to like reset myself. But it's still a very fun game, and I'm sure we'll have lots to talk about in a couple weeks.
Yeah, this is only the second time I've ever beaten Mario 64 in my life. So I didn't have it as a kid for some reason, Everyone that had an N64 growing up had Mario 64, but not me. So,
have you played the DS version?
Yes.
Okay.
I never beat that version though.
Yeah, but like the unlocking characters is like an interesting little like twist on the game, I guess.
Yeah, I want to try it eventually because I know it has like exclusive levels and bosses and stuff. So
it has 150 stars in that game. But it does have some.
Instead
cool
of being 50 too many, it's 80 too
yeah,
many.
some of the new stars are fluff, but they do add some cool new stars.
Mm-hmm. And just having different characters is cool. So,
do you guys want a little spoiler?
What's that?
I never fully beat Mario 64.
Dang.
You've been talking shit all this time.
Have you ever been?
I got pretty close, but like.
Have you ever been to the glory that is TikTok clock?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, why do you think I didn't beat it?
Yeah, exactly. I have no excuses. I have no excuses for the top of the castle. Those last two levels suck. I have no excuses.
That's great. Okay, so for me, obviously Mario 64 just went over a little bit. I played a couple of Virtual Boy games over the last couple of weeks, which was fun. I played Nestor's Funky Bowling, which is absolutely mid as you could imagine. It's literally just a straightforward bowling game. There's nothing to it, literally nothing to it. That makes it special. There's nothing funky about it. It has some funky little animations, but it's like I could go to the real bowling alley and see some funkier animations when I get a gutter ball. So that's really about as creative as it gets. It's weird playing Virtual Boy games because it's like, obviously like more sprite work of that time, but a lot of these games, they had to run at such a high frame rate for them to not make people pass out. And the animations on everything are just so smooth. So it's weird seeing Virtual Boy games play because it's like just the smoothest moving pixel art you've ever seen in your life.
How'd you play it?
On my 2DS, so I didn't even play
2DS.
with 3D like a monster.
Okay, I was gonna say you didn't even see the 3D. Okay, never mind.
I know. Well, I have my wife's 3DS is modded, so it's like I could have put it on hers and played it on there, but my 2DS is like very well loved. Like it's beaten to shit because I take it with me everywhere. I play it all the time. There's like thumb like marks like on the back of the 2DS that like show where I'm always pressing buttons and playing, and it's like it's like I don't want to just I have a lot of 3DS consoles and I want to keep the rest of them nice. I'm like, this is my dedicated machine, and hers is the Galaxy 3DS, and I'm like, that one's pretty. I don't want to mess it up. So it's like, it's like I hate to be like these are collector's items, but most of them are. My 2DS XL I got for like $100 when they cleaning them out at Walmart, so I'm like, I don't feel bad if that one's beaten to shit, and it's kind of just my go-to handheld. But I think eventually I want to try it on there just so I could actually see the 3D effect, because it's cool that someone was able to make that work.
I'm still so upset that Nintendo didn't like at least put like the Wario Land game on the eShop.
Yeah,
like,
well, they should have done just like a Virtual Boy collection.
I know they're like embarrassed of it, but they should have like there was literally the one chance they had to put the Virtual Boy game somewhere, and they're like, no.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, come on, guys. Like,
and I tested that one out for a little bit too, and it was pretty decent. But I've only played the first stage, so I want to play a little bit more of it before I have much to say about it. Because from what I could tell, Jack Bros and Virtual Boy Wario Land are like the only two games on there that are really worth playing.
yeah. Yeah.
And the other one though was Jack Bros that I played. That game gets very, very difficult, but it is super fun. So it's weird because it's almost like have you guys ever played either Fire and Ice or Solomon's Key on the NES?
I've played Solomon's Key.
I was gonna say because those are on. I think those were on the NES for Nintendo Online. But imagine if that game was top down and had bullet hell elements to it. That's the best way I could describe it.
Bullet hell elements?
Yeah. So not quite bullet hell, but like it's certain boss fights and stuff more specifically. But what it is you fall into like this kind of like top-down maze view, and you have to go through the different floors to get keys to just keep going down to the next level. And then every couple of levels there's a boss, and usually the boss is like bullet helly. All the enemies you're fighting are from different, Shin Megami Tensei demons, which are really cool. The music is actually incredible. The sprite work is beautiful. The only issue is that it is really difficult. It only has, I think, 6 stages. So not too long of a game. Only takes you about an hour, probably a little bit longer, because the last stage is really difficult and like almost 20 minutes long. So like most of the game is the last level. And if you get a game over, you got to start over. So
no.
Yeah, it's rough. So it's like a lot of it comes down to memorization of the floors to know the fastest paths to go, and what kind of like off-screen bullshit might come and attack you. There's not a lot of it, but there's a little bit of it in there. And you don't have health, so you just have a timer. And that's kind of where the intensity of the game comes from, is because you can't just take your time looking around. You got to find the optimal route in the right way to go. Because if you run out of time, you die, and if you get hit by an enemy, your timer also goes down. So it's about moving quick and figuring out the right way to go. But this is, people talk a lot of smack about the Virtual Boy. This is a very good game that's worth playing. I would highly recommend this to most enjoyers of video games. So
play as like Jack Frost. Is that your like who you're controlling?
So there's 3 selectable characters. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned that. So there's Jack Frost, who's considered. I think his firepower is the weakest, but he could shoot the fastest, so he could shoot the most amount of bullets at a time. Then there's Pyro Jack, but I think they call him Jack-O-Lantern in this game because it was like an old localization thing.
Yep.
And he could shoot not as fast, but his bullets are a little bit stronger. And then there's Jack Skellington, or Jack the Ripper. I can't remember which name they use in the English version. But he just has a knife, so you have to be like really close to the enemies to hit them. But he basically one-shots everything. So he's the strongest, but it's high risk, high reward, because you have to get close to the enemy to actually attack them, which makes the boss fights extra difficult. But yeah, very cool game. Like I said, totally recommend. There is a hard mode. I don't know how the fuck you'd ever be able to beat the hard mode. So I do not recommend that. But if you beat the hard mode, you unlock a 4th playable character, which is kind of cool too. So there is an incentive to try the hard mode. But yeah, I didn't think I was going to talk Jack Bros for very long. But yeah, it's a really cool game, and highly recommend it. It's cool. First Shin Megami Tensei media we got in the States. So
there we go.
Got that before any Personas, any actual SMT, anything. So shout out to Jack Bros. Dope ass game. And then I replayed one of my favorite rhythm games of all time, possibly my favorite rhythm game of all time, Elite Beat Agents. I know we talked about it on the show multiple times here and there, but man, it's just so much fun. It's so fun. The song selection is fantastic. It feels like the game was made in 2004, 2005, 2006, which was, around the time it came out. It has a lot of popular music from that time. It's just the most random shit. You got Avril Lavigne, you got Jamiroquai, you got Hoobastank.
I looked up some videos of like levels after we talked about it, and I was like, "This is very."
You got Chicago. It's the craziest soundtrack, but it's so much fun. It has all these really goofy animations and cutscenes, and the character designs of all these characters are really fun and memorable too. Everything. It's just the goofiest, funnest rhythm game. It's not super long. I think it's like less than 20 songs. I think it's like 17 or 18. So you could blast through it pretty quickly. My only gripe with it is that you have to unlock any difficulty higher than medium, and that's just because medium's too easy. So I hated that I had to play, on an easier difficulty. And sometimes, maybe you would be able to relate to this a little bit, Zach, because I know you like rhythm games a little bit as well. Sometimes I feel like when you're used to the higher difficulties, it's harder to scale yourself down, like to go slower. When you're like, I know there would be more notes to hit here if I was on the higher difficulty, and you find yourself getting ahead of yourself sometimes.
Yeah, you ever go back and like try a song on easy on Guitar Hero?
Oh God, it's harder than expert mode half the time. I'm like, ugh.
Feels unnatural.
Exactly. Yeah. But Elite Beat Agents, possibly the best rhythm game of all time. If you like rhythm games, you have a DS, get this. I believe it's still a very cheap game. And of course, you could always emulate it or whatever else. But this is a game that, if you played it on PC, actually, it'd probably be good with a mouse as well. But this game is, built upon stylus controls. So,
yeah.
Absolute shout out to Elite Beat Agents, because I beat it on medium and then I started playing it on hard, and then I want to try to play on expert because I've never been able to beat it on expert my entire life. It gets so difficult, it's insane.
Just look at the last level on expert and it's pretty wild.
Oh my gosh, it's insane. It is absolutely bonkers. It's like you could barely even see what notes are coming next because your reaction time has to be so fast.
You have to like memorize what's coming, basically.
Pretty much. But and then you have to do the thing where you spin the circle on the screen. And you're like, oh, and it's just, oh my god, it's brutal. But such a fun game. So shout out to that. The last game, the infamous Shadow Drop this week of Oblivion Remastered. I got suckered in. I've played Oblivion. I have the same story with Skyrim. I started it, probably 40, 50 times and never finished it. Same thing with Oblivion. I've started it 40 or 50 times, whether it be on PC or my Xbox Series or all these other different things, and I just never end up finishing it. But now I got it on PS5, and I was like, this is going to be my time where I actually finally finish it. And I am having a great time. I'm about 10 hours in so far. I have joined all the different factions I could join. I've done a couple of main story quests. I've mostly just been doing random side quests, though, that I'm finding throughout the world. Having an absolute blast. It's funny because they kept all of the jank and weirdness of Oblivion, but they just made it prettier in terms of like the all the assets and character models and everything. So it still has all the weird stilted conversations and like funny AI and weird ragdolling and glitching and all this stuff, but it's just this gorgeous game. So having a real good time with it. The music is absolutely phenomenal. I believe his name is Jeremy Soule that does the soundtracks for Elder Scrolls 3, 4, and 5. All absolutely beautiful. So some fantastic music. Still has the insane character creator from the original Oblivion, which is fun too. It's just a great time. If you love Elder Scrolls and you've never played Oblivion, like you've only played Skyrim like many people, definitely check this out, because this is, another easy way to sink 500 hours into a beautiful, great fantasy world. My one big gripe is that I wish that they didn't change the lighting and color grading of everything, because I loved how colorful the original Oblivion was. I've always felt like the original Oblivion almost looks like obviously all the character models are ugly as shit, but all the environments and everything I feel like looks like almost like a really pretty watercolor painting, and I've always really liked that about that. And this is much more like, unfortunately, like modern day piss filter, like brown and gray, and it doesn't look bad. It's just, it gives it a different vibe. But I'm just a big fan of high fantasy. I'm a big fan of Elder Scrolls in general, and I'm having a fantastic time. I'm gonna go for the platinum trophy. Not too difficult. Basically just do all of the quests in the game in terms of the main faction and the main story. I've heard great things about the Shivering Isles DLC as well, so I'm excited to check that out. But yeah, that's the main reason I haven't started Expedition 33 yet, was because this came out and it kind of threw off my schedule. So
I was gonna say, I am kind of baffled that Xbox got Expedition 33 on Game Pass, and then like, okay, 2 days before this like game that people are looking forward to comes to Game Pass, we're gonna drop one of our biggest games ever. It's like, why'd you release it the same week? Why not? I know,
that was asinine. I was shocked at that too.
A couple weeks from now, it just feels like a weird decision.
Super strange on their part.
Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like they could have timed that a little better. But
yeah, so far, like I said, I've played Skyrim before, loved it. But right now, just doing like a lot of the random side quests and stuff, it's like I'm kind of digging Oblivion more. Might end up liking it more than Skyrim by the end of it, so we'll see how that goes.
Have you been drinking your skooma?
I have not.
Okay.
But I've seen
played
videos of people running at hyperspeed, which is hilarious. So
I never played either,
Super
but I was
fun.
watching like some gameplay of the Oblivion remaster, and it's tempting.
Yep.
I'm telling you, it is a lot of fun. I'm having an absolute blast, and it's like, I don't know, I get through these hyperfixation phases with Elder Scrolls like every couple of years, where it's like, oh, I want to play Skyrim, or oh, I want to play Elder Scrolls Online, or oh, I want to watch the 100-hour lore videos on Elder Scrolls lore, or oh, I want to mess with Daggerfall for a few hours this weekend. It's like, something about Elder Scrolls is just very captivating. And I think part of that is because they've done such a meticulous, deep, and like hard working job at making these like really lore rich worlds where like everything has a story behind it. Essentially, it's much deeper than most people are willing to go with their franchises. So it's like these worlds feel very lived in, which is cool, especially Oblivion. All these cities are pretty bustling. There's these people walking around just talking to each other, even if their conversations are shallow and funny. Like, they're like, hello, how are you? Not good, be seeing you. It's
Some
like, it's
of my
just
favorite my favorite content of Elder Scrolls is those videos people make where they're like walking into rooms, like doing the like they look like hello, and they like walk into walls and walk into the desk and stuff. It's so
so
good.
funny. But yeah, it's like, as shallow as like some of those like overworld conversations and stuff are. It's just like, I don't know, these worlds feel lived in, and they're very easy to get lost in. Like last night, I was trying to go to bed at a reasonable hour since we were recording a little bit earlier today, and it's like I just kept losing myself, and I was like, oh shit, I got to go to bed, but one more quest, or oh shit, I got to go to bed, but oh, I haven't talked to this NPC before, and then that NPC gave me a quest, and I'm like, well, now I got to do it. So it's just, it's so easy to get lost in these things forever, and if you never played Oblivion, I think this is the way to go. I really think the only negative is the difference in the color palette and the lighting. Other than that, I feel like this is definitely the way to play this game. And $50, great price, great price.
I didn't fact check this because I've not played the original Oblivion, but I read and saw a screenshot that if you go up to the edge of the map, and you're in Cyrodiil, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you go to the edge of the map in a particular spot, you can see the throat of the world from Skyrim. They like added it in where it would be, like in the distance.
That's cool.
Because it wasn't there obviously in the original game, because Skyrim didn't come out yet. But apparently they have added the picture, like you can see the top of the mountain from a distance.
That's cool. I didn't know that. I'll have to look for it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what? Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion came out in 2006. I think we could do an episode on Oblivion.
Ooh. Yeah.
19 years old.
Close enough.
I think we could do it. We shouldn't, but I want to, because I'm playing this and I'm like, I want to talk about this forever with my friends, actually. But yeah, you guys will definitely like it. I know you guys have a million things to play, and so do we. I mean, even for the show, I'm like, man, gotta boot up Sacred Stone soon. Spoiler
yes.
for a few
Now
more
on NSO.
game episodes from now. But
Now
yes,
on
now on
NSO.
NSO. Perfect timing. When I saw that, I was like, oh, they couldn't. It's like they thought of us. They were listening. Whew. All right. Well, that was a very long what we've been playing section, more than usual. So sorry for my rambling, boys.
Yeah, thanks for playing games, Tyler.
Hey,
Yeah,
if I would have
piece of
played more,
shit.
this would have been 2-hour segment, all right? So thank me.
Well, recent gaming pickups. I have a lot. So should I get mine out of the way, or should I go last? I don't know what you guys have, if you have anything.
Zach, how many you got?
I sadly have zero.
All right, Zach got a story. I know that.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
you could go first. I'll go last. Tyler, you can go second.
My only pickup was going to be Clair Obscure, and I pre-ordered the physical edition from Best Buy and had them deliver it, and they delivered it on release day before I got home, but they delivered it to the wrong house.
Oh.
They put a picture of the address, and it is not my door. There's no descriptive features of this door other than it's a blue door. So I drove around my neighborhood and surrounding neighborhoods trying to find any blue door I could find, and I could not find it. So I had to, I just got them to cancel it, and I just bought it digitally. And I'm hoping a good Samaritan will return it, because it has I'm assuming it has my information on it.
Yeah, your
There's gonna
address
be
should be on there, right?
This random French JRPG is going to be delivered to some 70-year-old person's house. They're not going to know what the hell this thing is.
And they're like, oh my gosh, I was looking for this.
I was looking for this. And
Is
also,
this that new Nintendo game?
that new Nintendo game. Quick side note: have either of you interacted with like customer support in general through like an app lately?
I'm sure it's all AI now, right?
Well, it's AI until you spam talk to person, talk to chat, or talk to agent, talk
Yeah.
to agent, and then you get an agent. And what I've noticed lately is they're like weirdly polite. They're like, "Oh, how are you today?" And you're like, "I'm doing great. How are you?" They're like, "Oh, thank you so much. You're so nice for asking me that. Might I ask how you're spending your weekend while we wait?" I'm like, "Dude, what is going on?" Like, literally, they're asking me my weekend plans. I'm like, "Just give me my fucking game." Like,
My weekend plans is hopefully getting a replacement of my item.
I
Can
was
you help
I was so close to saying that back to them. I was like, I don't want this poor person is like trying to do their job, but they're being like weirdly nice. They're like, yeah, I'm going to my grandmother's this weekend. I'm like, dude, I don't care. Like, I don't care. I'm sorry. Like, just help me out here. Anyway, rant over.
That's absolutely crazy.
It's happening a lot, and the Best Buy app is doing it a lot now. If you ever go to Best Buy chat and you talk to a person, they'll ask you like what your plans are for the day and
What are you wearing?
Dude, it's really weird. It's really weird.
Remember the first time I ever sent something to your house at Nexamon game? Same thing happened. Yeah, I was like, "Hey, it's there," and then you're like, "Where?" And I sent you a picture. You're like, "That's not my house." And I was like,
It's
"What?"
not my house at all. Yeah.
It's like, "What do you mean?"
Yep. So maybe somebody will return it to my house, and I wanted to play it on launch day, so I got it digitally. I didn't want to wait for like, oh, the replacement can get there on like May 8th. I'm like, no, like, so
R.I.P.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'm sure inevitably it'll go on sale and you'll be able to get it for cheap at least. At least you bought it. Period.
Yeah. I did purchase the game for full MSRP. Maybe I'll buy a second copy on sale during the holiday or something.
I also noticed $5 off if you pre-ordered it before release, which was generous of them too. So
Great. Yeah.
this game is just extraordinarily affordable for what you get too.
I guess I got a free Best Buy gift card also. I got a $10 gift card for this.
Oh, there you go.
So that's cool, I guess.
You could buy, 1/10 of a Nintendo Switch 2 accessory.
Yeah, I could.
Oh, Zach, did you see what I sent in the chat yesterday with the mouse thing? You got to pre-order that, bro.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Is that real?
Yeah.
That's like a weird mouse adapter for the Switch 2 controller.
I've only
it's
seen
only
like
up on like GameStop.
yeah, I've only seen like renders of it like through like CAD software. I have not seen like a box for it yet.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Tyler,
All right.
what the hell you got?
So, fellow viewer, Bird Dog Gaming, he was doing an eBay live stream, and he was going through just like random, I think it was like ending soonest listings or whatever. And we all know the Game Boy Advance has some weird games that probably aren't that great, but they're pretty rare. And so this one was up for bidding. It was at 99 cents. I put $5, ended up winning it for $5. It is a Ubisoft title. Anybody want to guess?
Frogger
Assassin's
2.
Creed Odyssey.
It is Sabrina and the Teenage Witch.
Hell
Alright?
yeah.
We got Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Potion Commotion.
Let's go.
You
That's a
know,
good
we
title.
even we can get help from Salem the Cat
Yes.
in all his glory.
That is a regular show in our household to this day. Like, we just don't know what to put on. One of our go-to sitcoms is Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Says Aunt Hilda's done it again. She's cast the wrong spell, causing crazy commotion. Adventure with Sabrina and create a potion that brings the world back to normal.
Hell yeah.
You get 4 mini games and 4 extra make a potion levels.
Shout out to
16 levels.
Mrs. Joan Hart.
16 level. That's quite the content for a $5 pickup.
You ever see the photos of her at the Dreamcast launch?
Yeah.
She was like a big selling point for the Dreamcast. Her and Fred Durst, they really knew how to advertise the Sega Dreamcast.
Then, lastly, also speaking of Christian, one thing he is not so proud of, but Christian, I don't care. I got my N-Gage Parasite
Ooh.
pack.
Let's
You
go.
know, little,
Oh, yeah.
like, fan-made N-Gage. It's crazy. It's, like, sealed. They got the whole N-Gage seal on there and everything. It's kind of crazy. And they're all numbered. There's only 100 made.
Yeah.
And I got 88. And also 30.
Oh my
You
God.
bought 2.
Because I'm a
I
madman.
bought 2 of them.
You bought 2. I feel like that guy should have gave you number 1 just because you bought 2.
For real. Like, he sent me, like, files, like, on Etsy for, like, the games, for, like, if anything ever goes wrong, like, when I'm playing them, like, files to update the cartridge and stuff. I'm like, well, how would I even do that? Like,
I know, how do you put an N-gauge cartridge in your computer? Where's the dumper for that?
But yeah, so it has the game Flea, Flea 2, and Tapeworm Disco Puzzle. So,
hell yeah.
I got 6 games right here, technically, if we're speaking facts.
It's pretty baller.
Christian wouldn't buy one, that's why I bought 2. I had to buy 2.
Yes, sir.
Quick aside for numbered like limited releases, like the that PS4 like anniversary edition, or like the Mario Wonder elephant card. Do things that have like a cool number sell for more? Like if
I feel
someone
like
put
they
up like
would, but it doesn't happen often, so it's hard to know. Like whenever there's these limited editions, I've never seen like number 100 out of 100 or number 1 out of 100. I've never seen any of those ever go for sale.
That's what I'm saying. Like, would one go for like a bunch more?
I think so, but
yeah,
haven't seen it happen.
Yeah, not enough data. Okay,
I know, but I would assume like if 420 out of 690 were to go up to sale,
yeah,
it would go for way more, and I would be one of the bidders. Tyler, those are pretty cool.
Yeah, they are, dude.
Especially since, as far as we know, right, only homebrew and gauge game, and I think that makes it kind of a notable thing. So,
Did you buy 2 just to keep one sealed? Is that what the idea was?
I have no clue why I bought 2. I don't even have an N-gauge.
That's true.
Forgot about that part.
Yeah, the guy sent you the files. He's like, in case the games don't work on your N-gauge, you're like, not a problem, buddy. Not a problem.
2% of the whole market.
Let's go. See, I'm
Keep buying them up.
this one. I can't keep it. It's sold out. It's only 100.
Yeah.
Well,
Who needs to buy stocks when there's homebrew N-gauge games?
I'm about to put this one up for like $3K on eBay. We're gonna get the market going.
There you go. Set the standard.
Yeah.
Stupid.
But yeah, that was a pretty cool little like April Fool's type pickup that was actually legit. So
it is neat. Never forget all those years ago on April Fool's Day when Poop Slinger went up and nobody bought it because they thought that it was gonna get you.
Had it in my cart.
Oh, me too. And I was like, this website looks like it's gonna sell my information to somebody shady, so I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
You never know. None of us got Lunar Collection. I noticed. Did we all miss out on that?
Right, dude. I was up late that night because I was like, well, I didn't think it was gonna sell out right away, but like I was up late that night. It went up 3 a.m. my time. You know what time I went to bed? Like 2:45. I was like, yeah, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed. I wake up. Patrick was like, "Hey, Lunar's up, but it's sold out already." And I was like, "What?" Like, I mean, the Switch and the Xbox One was still up, but I want the
the PS4 version's the one that went quick.
Yeah, but then luckily our Lord and Savior VGP. Sorry, I had to think of it.
Oh, it's the Wario 64.
No, Lord and Savior VGP ended up saying like, you know what? I guess Gunho teamed with them now, and now they're just shipping copies to the U.S. because originally they were just shipping to Canada. So now they're shipping to U.S. and yeah, I was able to get one. Well, it was like a pre-order copy, so I mean it's gonna take like 2 to 4 weeks, I think they said, but
you'll get it.
Yes, sir.
I would like to play those once things calm down a little bit, if they ever calm down a little bit.
Yeah, I think that I don't think it's gonna be that limited. I think that they didn't anticipate the demand, and I think they're gonna keep printing more. So I'm not too worried about it right now.
See, that's why I don't know why they didn't just do pre-orders. Like,
yeah, it was very strange. Super, super bad release on Gung Ho's part, unfortunately. They're like, yeah, we'll have plenty. You guys don't have to worry about it. And then it's sold out right away. They're like, oh.
Oh, no.
What do we do? Oh, no. as said by Knuckles the Echidna. All right. So I have a good stack here. Some of this I had previously from like a decent eBay lot, and then a bunch of it I got yesterday because I had a bunch of trade credit in my local game store, so got a lot of cool stuff that way. But as I already showed, Expedition 33, very excited to get to it eventually. Next up, some original Xbox games. I don't know what it is about the original Xbox. I think that they just look really cool, so I like having them. And there's a bunch of games I've wanted for the original Xbox I didn't have yet. House of the Dead 3, very fun, very exciting. Gun Valkyrie, which I've been told is like a really cool Sega game for the Xbox. We got a very important game I was missing, Halo 1. I don't know why I didn't have a copy of Halo 1 yet, but now I do. And then, I don't know, I haven't heard much about this, but Castlevania. Yes?
I need to interfere. I don't know if you can hear it, but now my neighbor's mowing.
Can't hear it, we're good.
Okay.
Castlevania Curse of Darkness. I don't know, like, the consensus on this game, but just looking at it on the back and stuff, it looks really cool, actually. Like a cool 3D not 3D platformer, but just 3D style Castlevania game. Looks really sick. Absolutely love the art style, so very excited to check this out. I have not hooked up my actual Xbox in a very long time, so I might try to do that soon. And then, Dreamcast is back on the menu, boys. So we got Phantasy Star Online
Let's go.
with the Sonic Adventure 2 demo disc, which is very exciting. I was happy that was included. We got a Dreamcast Heavy, Dino Crisis. So very excited to have that. Lots of Capcom love in this stack. We got another heavy, Third Strike Street Fighter 3. This is like a $120 game. I have no idea why, but thank God for having store credit. This is a very, very uncommon Dreamcast game, Stupid Invaders. Absolutely no idea what it's about.
I've never even seen that.
No, exactly. It looks weird and goofy. It's a 2-disc game, too, so apparently it's a pretty big game.
Insert
I'm like, what?
disc 2.
Exactly. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I have to check this out. It's a Ubisoft game. I'm very curious to see what his deal is. Over 120 bizarre locations and astounding 3D settings. So, we shall see. Next up,
That one?
I think this was like 70, 80?
Oh, dang.
Somewhere around there.
They're going to kill one of your party members and then tell you to put the next disc in.
Oh man, what game could that be a spoiler for? Next up we have Street Fighter Alpha 3, so another Street Fighter. But now I believe that's all the Street Fighters on Dreamcast that I have, so I think I have all 3 of them now. Bomberman Online, which is a cool one. I like the artwork for Bomberman a lot, so I'm always going to be down for some nice Bomberman. Next up, I can't remember which one of your friends, but I know this is one of your friends' favorite games, Tyler. Vigilante 8-Second Offense.
That is Jonathan, Mr. Rock Solid.
Yes, there we go. Then we have Shadow Man, which I actually think has been ported to modern consoles kind of recently. And then last but not least, this is... Huh?
I heard Shadow Man is terrible.
Yeah, I've heard it's bad too. Is it on the Rated M N64 Nintendo app?
No, I think that's literally just Turok and like
Perfect Dark.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, probably one of the... Not probably, is definitely one of the most iconic Dreamcast games. We got Shenmue. So, I got a lot of really cool games here. I'm very excited. That's 9 more down for the Sega Dreamcast set. So, very exciting times. We're getting there slowly but surely.
What does that put you at? Like 60, 70?
59 out of 2...
Okay.
I think it's 249 or 250. So, we're getting there. It takes time. But it was nice that I didn't really have to pay for almost any of those since I had all that store credit. So, that's always a good time. Never be afraid to trade in junk you don't actually care about anymore. I think some of us that collect games want to hold on to everything forever. And I've always been a big advocate of, fund it by, getting rid of stuff that that doesn't have too much personal attachment to you. Save yourself some money. I always think that's honestly the better way to go. So I sold a lot of shit throughout the years. So
Yeah, my man sold full sets.
That's true, I have. Sometimes I had to, and then sometimes I just was like, it's something else. I mean, I had a loose Game Gear set. Like, is that cool? Kinda. But would it be way cooler to have a full set of Game Gear games CIB? Of course. So I'm like, I just won't have any Game Gear games instead.
Dude,
I'd rather have them CIB.
That's like me right now contemplating with my Pokemon card collection. Like how I sent you screenshots, and I was like, dude, this card's going for this now? I have like 3 of those.
Yeah,
like,
you could buy so much stuff. You could probably finish your Vita set tomorrow if you sold all your Pokemon cards.
like Zach, for context, like I found this Instagram page. It was like, oh, top 15 cards from this set, selling ones. And like for instance, there's XY Flashfire, I think it is. And there's like a secret rare Mega Charizard X, secret rare Mega Charizard Y, the regular ones in it. The secret rare Mega Charizard X goes for like almost $500 raw. And like I have like two of those. And then I have like the Mega Charizard Y. I have the secret one of that. That was like 200 or something like that.
Sure.
I have like almost a full set for that one. So I have
Condition
all that.
is everything, so as long as they're in good shape, you could probably get a good
Oh, yeah.
amount for them.
I was always good with my stuff. Sleeve them up, top loader. Sometimes sleeve in a binder, and they're just sitting in a tote back there, never to be seen.
True.
So like
But
for
like I
those
said,
ones, like some of them I won't. Like I'll probably keep my whole base set because like it's base set, it's complete. I like it, you know.
do you have everything for base set?
Yeah, the
First
complete
edition? Or no?
No, not first edition.
Just curious. That's still cool.
The base set, I actually bought it off of Jason. Fun fact. So
What a fool. Sucker.
But so shout out to Jason for that. Especially before the Pokemon boom. But yeah, like all the ones that I just have like some singles for, man, I'm like, man, I don't think I need these. Like there's some that I'll keep that are like special to me, but some like, bro, I'm sitting on thousands. Like
I think I kind of want to get what Craig's been doing. Don't you just buy singles that like you think look cool? Like that's all.
Yeah,
Like, that's what
I
you
don't.
buy?
Yeah, I don't care about value at all. I buy a couple of packs of every set just because it's fun to open, and then I just go for singles that I care about. And it's like most there, you could get a ton of cool singles for very cheap. So
yeah,
That's if
Fun
and
fact.
when I do get back into it, that's what I'll do.
I got the freaking the Iono box or whatever because you know Craig got me back.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
one sealed shit. You know, it came in like these standees or whatever, and like these packs. I didn't get a single freaking hit, and I was really upset. So now I'm just gonna do singles because stupid.
yeah, there's nothing worse than when you're like, you drop like $100 on packs. You're like, I'm gonna treat myself, go crazy, and then you don't get dick, and you're like, oh, I could have just bought like 100 singles of cool cards for $1 or $2 or $3 and gotten a bunch of stuff that I wanted.
At least I get that.
That is a really cool promo. I like that promo a lot. So, I've heard people refer to those cards as Force Ghost cards, which makes me laugh. Like in Star Wars, like they look like Force Ghosts behind their Pokemon, but I kind of like them. Speaking of Star Wars, I'm really sad I didn't go see the anniversary showing of Episode 3 in theaters. That would have been a lot of fun.
Still in theaters
Is it?
for a couple days. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if it is by me. I'll have to check because I've always been an Episode 3 defender.
Listen,
I think
if
that
it is
movie's
by
so
me,
fun
I
and so
think it
good.
will be in Vegas. So
Mhm.
y'all got everything, even WrestleMania.
That's true. We get WrestleMania.
I had
Oh, the Denny's
WrestleMania
on the
last
Strip.
year. Not kidding you.
What'd you say?
The Denny's on the Strip, you'll have that.
We had the Denny's on the Strip, best restaurant in the world. Some say.
You got the Taco Bell with freaking alcohol.
You got the Taco Bell you could get married at with alcohol. Thank you very much. You could get married in that Taco Bell. I need to convince my wife to renew our vows there in 10 years. I think that'd be awesome.
I'll definitely come back for that.
Dude, imagine renewing our vows and topping it off with nacho fries. Doesn't get better than that.
Some Crunchwrap Supremes.
Ooh.
I'll be there with the Baja freaking like margarita.
I would love a Baja Margarita.
That'd be fun. And you know what? When I do renew our vows, Zach has to be there because we weren't really friends yet. So that was a little bit before this friendship came to be. So you got to be there for round 2.
If there's Baja Blast Mountain margaritas, I will be anywhere you ask.
Just give me a time.
Give me a time.
All right, Tyler. We have a new section on this show due to the death of history.
History
Tyler's
died.
Trivia. I like it. A little TT, a little bit of a... I don't know what you call that. Exactly, a little TT. What you got?
Okay, so fellas, this is how we're gonna do it. Essentially, I asked if anybody you're watching this, you have a question you want me to ask the guys, let me know. I'll have it as like a bonus question, but I'm gonna throw a little shout out to Jason because he recommended starting from like all the way back to the beginning, like with Atari, and then moving up throughout the ages. So it's gonna be a little hard for the guys in the beginning, but I'm sure as we go along, the questions will get more familiar with them. So I have these as multiple choice.
Okay.
So, if you know it, shout out and say your answer. And then we'll keep track of points throughout the episodes.
This is gonna be
I
bad.
don't. We're just gonna. Yeah, don't worry. I don't
I'm
think
gonna get 0 points.
you'll catch up.
You don't
when
know
we
what?
get to, like,
You don't know
dinner.
Atari, Zach?
I'm just gonna say E.T. is my final answer.
For everything.
Okay. So, yeah. So that's how we're gonna do it. I got 4 questions that actually Jason gave me to like start it off. So we're gonna do that. And I got one bonus question at the end, and that's thanks to Patrick.
All
So-
right.
We're gonna start off with this one. Question 1: Who started the company Atari? If y'all don't know, I can give multiple choice.
Give multiple choice because I think I'll know who it is if you say the names. Oh, Zach has an answer.
I was gonna say a French guy. But,
All right, we got Maurice Greenberg, Rob
All right.
Fulop, Nolan Bushnell, or Peter Jensen.
Is it Nolan Bushnell?
Correct.
Okay, I knew I'd recognize the name if you said it.
Craig. Okay. Next
Undefeated champion. Let's end it now.
that was the closest I ever was in points.
one. So, Nolan Bushnell didn't have enough money to put the Atari 2600 to the market. So, what company did he sell Atari to?
Activision.
I don't know.
We got ColecoVision, Warner Communications, Magnavox.
Warner?
Yep.
Haha.
Zach, you start spitting stuff out, bro.
I did. I yelled Activision.
Well, you can name something after the multiple choice.
Okay.
Okay.
Are points different if you get it before multiple choice?
I could do that.
That's true. I feel like it should be 2 points if you get it before multiple choice.
All right, we'll do
I'm
that.
down with that.
He's
I'm down with
just
that.
gonna keep yelling random. He's like Pitfall, Missile Command.
If you answer it before he asks the question, it's 5 points.
Okay.
Steve Jobs.
This one I don't really have multiple choice for. People call the Atari 2600, but what is its official name?
Ooh, I don't know.
The Atari Home Entertainment System.
No, it's Atari in 3 words.
Home Entertainment System.
No, you got the last one right.
Video
Video
gaming.
game system.
You got the first and the last run right.
Video
Video
Entertainment
gaming.
System.
Huh?
Video Entertainment System.
No.
Gaming system.
No. They call it the Atari V.
VCS.
Hey, you got it.
Video console system.
Console?
It's
Yeah, I
video.
don't know.
It's video computer system.
Yeah,
Ah.
'cause it's just- okay,
But Zach
that
said
makes sense.
VCS, so I'm gonna give it to him.
I just remember that because they had that weird like re-release of the VCS.
No,
that, like,
you're right.
You could like
All right.
download Atari games too or something. I don't know what
That was good. That was
Zach
good.
is on the board. Next,
Take it.
Nolan Bushnell also started a family restaurant. What's the name of that set of family restaurants?
The Bushnell and Co. Bar and Grill.
I have no idea.
You have no idea? This is actually a
No.
pretty cool one.
Give me a
I have
food
no
genre.
Pizza.
Bushnell's Pizzas.
No. Stop thinking Bushnells. They're everywhere. They're still around today.
Pizza Hut.
No. It has an
They're
arcade there.
still around today.
It has an arcade
Little-
there.
CC's Pizza?
Chuck E.
No.
Cheese.
Yep, Chuck E. Cheese.
What?
What the hell? That's crazy.
Yeah, a little
Why
fact
didn't they have
for you.
Ataris? They should have more like Atari stuff in Chuck E. He owned both of those?
You own Chuck E. Cheese, yeah.
What a baller.
Started it.
Kind of badass, actually.
All right.
Yeah.
Last
What have
one.
I done with my life? That man had created Atari and Chuck E. Cheese.
Charles
loser.
Entertainment Cheese.
Yes, thank you. The orphan.
All right.
Have you ever read up on Chuck E. Cheese lore?
I have not.
He's canonically an orphan, and the reason he does this is because he doesn't want other children to feel lonely like he did.
Oh. The reason he does this. Oh. Anyway,
Go on, Tyler.
And then lastly, how many copies? Well, this is kind of like a
300,000.
I wouldn't say that. How many copies roughly were found in the landfill with ET? You guys go give me a number. Whoever is closest, I'm gonna give the point to.
Is it Price is Right rules? Can I not bust? Or are we going just pure closest?
You can bust all you want.
Ooh.
Okay.
Whoever's closest, go with that.
Let's go with 200,000.
I was gonna say, should we lock in at the same time so I don't just cheat?
Okay, listen. I'm gonna give y'all a little hint.
I'll stick with
200,000.
300. I'll stick with 300.
No. Hold on.
No? Okay.
You guys are way too high.
Way too high?
Way too high.
Okay.
Bring it down.
All right,
40, no, 30,000. 30,000 copies.
I'll just to play. I'll say 50,000 copies instead of 30,001.
You could do You could
We should
do
lock
it.
it. Okay, how about this? 100 copies, Tyler.
100 copies.
100
Craig,
copies.
what did you say?
30,000.
Those are your final answers.
Yeah.
All right, Zach got it. It was 1,300.
Oh, wow. Much less than I thought. You were
We should
still
lock it at the
closer.
same time. We should lock it at the same time next time.
When y'all
All
said 200,000, I was like, whoa.
The
Did not
Atari
find that.
VCS was going fucking nuts, dude. Everybody
Quarter of a
wanted
million
ET.
copies.
There was a lot more rumored to be like buried, but that's what they found was roughly 1,300.
Why did they bury him in the desert again?
Because it sold like ass, and they had a shit ton.
Yeah, I think they
Maybe
just
they
literally had nothing to... They couldn't do anything with them.
Like, I'm thinking of like 1,300 copies. That's got to be like a pallet, right? Like, I mean, a couple pallets. Just burn it. I don't know. Why you gotta bury it? Like,
All right. So at the end of episode 1, we got trivia 1. We got Craig 3, Zach 2. Not too bad.
I'll take it.
I'll take. Well, technically, isn't it 3 and 3 because he got 2 points for guessing the VCS? You didn't give him multiple choice for that.
That was like the 8th try though, and
That's fair.
I'll let it go to your
I'm just trying to be fair.
If you think it should be 3-3, I'll put it 3-3.
No,
If
no,
not,
3-2.
3-2?
I was just going to
Okay.
the alphabet at that point.
that's how we're gonna keep it then. All right. That's how Tyler's history is gonna be. It's gonna be something like that. Not Tyler's history. Tyler's trivia time. Sorry, history is a thing of the past. Ooh, history is a thing of the past, literally.
Damn.
But yeah.
So
So
stupid.
hey, I gotta throw in my puns when I can, man. So yeah. If you guys ever have any questions, shout it to me. We're gonna be going through with that format, but if you guys have some
was fun,
random
Tyler.
question you want to say about a video game, I'll throw it in there as a bonus question.
Yes.
Maybe not to steal your topic away, but maybe for the game themed episode, you should throw in like a question about the game. You know, some sort of like deep lore or like deep history of the game.
Like for Super Mario 64, do something.
Yeah, I
different.
want you to watch like
Yeah.
those 7-hour videos about the A button challenge and ask us some super technical question about the way about the programming of the
Mario
game.
64 with cartridge tilting. If you tilt the cartridge at approximately 13 degrees to the left, what happens to Mario?
Dude, have you ever watched those videos about the A button challenge? They're incredible.
No.
Literally, people figured out, they're like, yeah, if you wait in Bowser, like the second Bowser level for 14 hours, this one ledge will keep lifting forever and you won't have to jump to get this stuff. It's like just absolutely insane shit like that is crazy. It's about how people figured out how to get every star of the game without hitting the A button ever. It's fantastic. It's like a 6 or 7 hour video. It's life-changing. I watched the whole thing twice.
I need to watch
It's
that.
so good. It's
Should
so
I?
good.
Because maybe we could do it like where... So like right now we did the Atari. Like next episode could be like Atari games. And then our game episode, I could just have trivia based on that game. And then we'll have 2 more regular episodes. That would be the next console in the line, the next games in those line, and then the next full game. I could run it like that.
Yeah, why not?
That would
I
be
think it'll be a good time. Although I think that the Fire Emblem episode is definitely going to be a bit unfair.
Yeah.
Zach definitely
Weird
knows
stuff
that
in
more
there.
than me. Especially specifically Sacred Stones.
Never played it.
That one I have to go into the real deep lore.
Off the top of your head, could you name like every unit in Sacred Stones? Like, do you know the game that well?
Just
I'm not asking you to do it, but
without looking at like character portraits.
Mhm.
Like you're saying, just like off the cuff, name all the characters.
yeah. Do you think you could do most of them?
Can I write them down on a piece of paper as I'm naming them? I could
Yeah.
definitely name. I could definitely name almost all of them, if not all of them, just by like if I had like a paper and like went through each chapter, I could name who comes in each chapter probably.
It's a lot of characters.
Yeah, it's not a super long game, so
True.
I'm just gonna like pick some random NPC and be like, "What color is his shoes?" Like, Zach would be like,
Actually, you cannot view their shoes until Fire Emblem 14, because Awakening they didn't have feet.
Awakening, they had no feet. I think about that all the time. It's so funny. They're stubs.
Yep.
It was a trick question. Zach got it right. 3 points.
There you go. All right. Overrated and underrated games. I think we all have 3 of each, right?
Not necessarily for overrated, but I'm
That's
sure I
fine.
can think of some.
Okay.
I have like 3 overrated plus an honorable mention. Then I have like underrated's weird. I have like 2, and then I have like a few like honorable mentions because I didn't have anything I was super passionate about.
That's valid. So, I guess I could kick it off with my overrated that I think is a little bit on the milder side, just because I don't think you guys will have an opinion on it. But I wanted to bring up, I think Blinks the Time Sweeper is a very overrated game on the original
Overrated.
Xbox. Yeah, people really like that game, and I find it to be obnoxious and unfun, pretty much completely. I've tried it more than once, and I could never finish it because I get so frustrated. You know, the level design is very boring. Your character is very slow. I think the time mechanics are just clunky and not all that well executed. I think that Blinks himself is kind of ugly looking. He's a cat, but he's not a cute cat. He's kind of looks like a little demon. Not a big fan of that. The music's whatever. But the biggest thing about this game that absolutely kills it for me is that when you take damage, the game does because it's all time based, it does a rewind before you got hit, and that's where you lose your health. And it is like a 10-second animation if you take a hit before you can start playing the game again. And I think that is the most obnoxious thing to ever put inside of a 3D platformer. It drives me absolutely insane. And I think I'm a little isolated on this opinion because I've looked it up online and it seems like everyone remembers this game fondly. They really like it. Very well regarded original Xbox game. And while I admit it's a cool Xbox IP, it's kind of interesting that it's lived and died on the original Xbox, never came back. It's kind of like a legacy IP for them. I think that it is not a very fun game at all, and cannot recommend. Do not like Blinks the Time Sweeper.
I can't remember what video I was watching, but I recently learned that Blinks was designed by the person who designed Sonic.
Really?
Yeah, so his name's Naoto Oshima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How funny.
And I guess when he left Sega, Microsoft's like, we need a new mascot. And he's like, I got you. Blinks the Time Sweeper.
The demon spawn cat. But yeah, that I'm telling you, that 10-second, it's like 10 seconds long you get hit before you can actually start playing the game again, and I think that's so obnoxious. It makes it completely unplayable for me because it's 10 seconds feels like a long time when you're just playing a game and you get hit and you want to keep playing the game.
Or like Blinks the Time Sleeper, am I right?
So, like I said, probably a mild take for you guys because I don't think you guys really have any opinions on Blinks, but wanted to air my grievances real quick.
I'm a super passionate Blinks defender. It's on my underrated list. I get real heated.
Greatest of all time.
But yep, that's my first one. If Zach, you want to go next on your first overrated? I guess we could go overrated and then go underrated, or you could just whatever. We could do whatever. If you want to go underrated first, let's free flow this bad boy.
I'll go with my overrateds, and I'll go with my first 2 are ones that I've mentioned before, so I'll start with those and then get to the big one last. I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. I never quite understood Yoshi's Island SNES. I think it's a good game. I've never understood why it's in this pantheon of greatest SNES games ever. I think it's a good game. No real hatred towards it, but I don't know. It's just never been a top 3 SNES game for me, or even a top 5. I don't know. Craig, I feel like you were the one who got mad when I said that last time.
I wasn't really mad, but I was confused because I've only played the first world and I thought it was phenomenal. I was like, this is so fun. I understand why people love this so much. I'm like, the graphics great, gameplay feels great, the music's great, and you're like, yeah, it's pretty mid. I'm like, what the fuck you mean it's pretty mid? I
mean, it has I like how it looks. I like how it plays. I just I don't know. It's I would never ever pick this up over Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Super Mario World. it's never like in that like
Pantheon.
pantheon for me. It's like,
That's
oh,
fair.
it's a good game, good game. But
Yeah,
I
I
think
need to
it's
play more.
overrated.
Yeah, I need to play more before I could agree or disagree. But just from what I've played, I feel like I'm like, no, to me, I'm like, I get it. I see why this is like one of the more beloved.
Maybe it pisses me off that it's called Super Mario World 2. Maybe
That
just
is
like
annoying.
it just
It's
irks me, I
very
guess.
annoying.
I'm kind of on
Trying
Zach's
to
side.
ride off the coattails of his bigger
Yeah.
brother.
I'm kind of on Zach's side with this one. It's a good game. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's not perfect. It's not the second coming of Christ, you know.
Hey
What?
man,
How do
there's no
you feel
Yoshi's Story on the N64. Talk about a goated game.
How do y'all feel about the crying baby Mario?
Oh man.
That is pretty obnoxious. But I don't actually think it's as bad as people say because I feel like it's actually. I mean, at least obviously I've only played the first world, but I'm like I felt like I wasn't taking a lot of damage anyway, so it didn't really become a problem. I'm sure the game ramps up in difficulty, but
I think another thing that bothers me is the way the scoring works in the game. Like you can get like a literal score from like I don't know what the minimum is, but like it goes up to 100% on each level. And if you miss like one tiny thing, you can get like a 99%, and I think that also bothers me.
yeah, but who cares about the score in a video game?
I do. I want to get
Do you
100.
really?
I want to
Do you
get
really
a
care?
no, not like score. I'm talking like more like
percent,
a
completion percentage.
percent completion. Yes, it's like a 99% completion on this level. It's like I don't like that. I'm upset. But I don't know. I like the game. I've beaten the game. I just don't love the game.
Tyler,
All right.
give us a game that's overrated or underrated.
All right. I'm gonna just might as well throw an overrated one out there. So I'm gonna just say two of them because I feel like Mario Kart wasn't phenomenal or not phenomenal but great until like Double Dash. Mario Kart 64 and Super Mario Kart were kind of just okay. You know, a lot of people are like, "Oh, Mario Kart 64 is like the greatest kart racer." No, it's not. It's fun. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, and people are like,
But
"Oh,
the
it's fun to
tracks are
play."
incredibly mid.
Yeah, the tracks are mid, man, and then everybody's like all about like, yeah, it's great playing N64 on let's just say 4-player split screen. Yeah, that game is obnoxious trying to play 4-player split screen. I don't know, you got this little box you can barely see ahead of you, like that Super Mario Kart. It's okay, it's just like a little bland to me. But I mean, yeah, it's a Super Nintendo game, but I don't know, Mario Kart just wasn't great until Double Dash.
Dude, imagine pulling up to the function and loading up Choco Mountain as your go-to Mario Kart track.
No, Tyler, I'm with you. This is one of the games on my list. Is Mario Kart 64.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah, I agree. The first three Mario Karts, like a Super 64
Yeah,
and
Super
then
Circuit.
Super Circuit.
Mm-hmm.
None of them. I don't love any of those. Maybe Mario Kart 64 back in the day hit for some people, but going back to it now, it's like, oh no, thank you.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious with NSO how like faithful they are. Like when you play online, you still get the split screen. You don't get like your own screen, so it like, makes
That's
your
funny.
screen small. It's like
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
I will say though, one thing I love about Mario 64 is the sprites for the cars and the character models over to the 3D environment. I think that's like an aesthetic vibe that looks cool, but
it has the good 90s early 3D aesthetic. I just think it controls weird too. I don't. It feels weird. I don't know.
yeah, like when you're trying to do like the what do you call it when you do like the to do kind of like the sharp turns?
Little hops. And stuff. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it feels slippery compared to other games where it feels more tight and precise. So
Yeah, it's no
Yeah,
Diddy Kong Racing.
Diddy Kong Racing sucks.
You're just a hater, bro. If that's
No,
why
it's
you're
just-
overrated
it's-
game, I'm quitting.
No,
I quit.
no, it's
the show.
not. It's not. But I thought about it because I think that game is so like unfunly difficult.
Dude, it's 10 times better than Mario Kart 64. Listen, just because my guy Raj is in there, which they should add him to Mario Kart World, by the way.
This is for you.
Like, bro,
I want a Whizpig boss fight in Mario Kart World.
Dude, could you
That'd
imagine?
be awesome.
Could you imagine Mario Kart World? They do like a DLC where it's literally like the Diddy Kong freaking like area, bro.
It's like another map.
I'm just gonna say, a game would be worth $80 then.
Yep.
Justify the price. But yeah, I think your take there we all agree with. So good take, Tyler. You're not fired yet.
Yay.
All right. Next, I'm gonna do an underrated game just cause I want to kind of to get this one out of the way just because I've talked about it on the show. But need to reiterate that Zelda 2 is underrated. It's better than Zelda 1. people act like it's so poorly designed and difficult, and I'm like, it's probably less difficult and less poorly designed than Zelda 1, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, I think well, maybe not difficult. I will say Zelda, some of the specifically like that Phoenix boss at the end of Zelda 2 is just disgustingly hard.
Yeah.
But other than that, I feel like the dungeons, it's weird and funky, but there's something about the side scrolling Zelda I think is cool, and I almost wish that they do another one, even though that'll never ever happen. But that's what we have indie games for. So I just think that Zelda 1 has a lot. I think it has a lot more annoyances and a lot more bullshit than Zelda 2, if not just as much. And I found Zelda 2 to be a more enjoyable experience. So
I liked Zelda 2, but I only liked it because I played it with Rewind and a guide. And if you play it with a guide, I think it's not too bad. A little it's a little confusing if you're just like wandering, but
it's like a lot of these NES games you have to play with a guide. You're not gonna know. You think anyone pulled up Final Fantasy 1 back in the day and didn't call the Nintendo hotline to be like, where the fuck do I go?
I always wonder. I wonder if they like kept metrics like the most called like games, like who called the most. I bet you Zelda 2 is probably up there. Like
that and probably Metroid, right? Metroid has to be one of them too, right?
Metroid probably, yeah.
That and probably the first two Zeldas. So.
Never played the first two Zeldas, can't speak on them. I really need to dive more into like NES stuff, because y'all learn that in the next episode. But yeah, so
why are we doing top 5 NES games?
Because I still have 5. I still played at least 5 NES.
He's played exactly 5 NES games. So
my top 5 is number 5, Rampage. No, I'm kidding.
Number 4, Taboo, that one where it's just a tarot card reader, I believe is called Taboo.
Number 3, I found it at a yard sale, Fester's Quest, great game.
There you go. Shout out to Fester's Quest on NES.
Number 2, Faxanadu.
I've actually heard that game's really cool.
I own it, never played it though.
There you go. Zach, give us another underrated or overrated game.
So underrated. This one I only played through it once. I liked it. I'm gonna try to recall my feelings on it based off this like short snippet I left for myself years ago. I played it on Game Boy NSO. Y'all heard of Demon's Crest, right? On SNES.
Mm-hmm.
Gargoyle's Quest on the Game Boy. I actually really liked that game. I'd never really heard people talk about that game before. Maybe it's a popular game. I just never. I never heard people talk about it. I didn't know it existed. I thought it was really fun. It has some like light RPG mechanics because it's like a side-scrolling platformer kind of thing. Well, you like get upgraded like abilities and upgraded platform like new attacks and stuff like that. I played it with some reversing involved if I got frustrated. But I thought it was a lot of fun. It like goes between like side-scrolling platforming and then like top-down like world exploring stuff. That was a pretty fun game. You play as the what's his name, the demon guy.
Yeah, from Ghosts and Goblins, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know this whole trilogy I've wanted to play forever, and I just never got around to it. But at one point I owned Gargoyle's Quest 2 on the NES. I don't have it anymore, but I've always wanted to check these games out. So good to know that you enjoyed them. Yeah, I haven't heard a lot of talk about them. Long ago, I probably saw it on like a Metal Jesus channel or something like that. It was probably how I found out about them. But I've heard the Demon's Crest on Super Nintendo is actually a pretty easy game and a really cool game. So might hop into that one soon. But Gargoyle's Quest is on. Is it on NSO?
Gargoyle's Quest is on NSO. That's why I played it.
So I might as well go. I might as well go in order then. Weird then that because I don't think the second one's on NES Online, so kind of a missing piece in the middle.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
Now that we're thinking about it, Nintendo listens to us. It'll be added next week.
That's true. Nintendo clearly listens to us. We now know.
Gargoyle's Quest 2 is a
MIA.
Nope. Let's see. It has a Nintendo.com listing.
Oh.
Is this just like an old? I think it's just an old virtual console listing. What is this?
How funny.
Yeah, it's not on I don't think it's on NSO. They have a virtual console for Wii and virtual console 3DS.
How funny that that's just the missing
Weird.
middle piece.
Yeah.
Weird. Anyway, yeah, I'll have to check those out. Tyler,
Fun game.
any thoughts?
I never played them. I mean, again, something I would play, but
There you go. In that case, Tyler, give us another underrated or overrated game.
all right, we got underrated, and I just read the back of the case and it's freaking great. All right, we'll get to that. So anyway, PS2 game. You could easily get this for like $5. I recommend it. Nobody really talks about it. Splashdown Rides Gone Wild. I'm going like a little obscured here.
You could have pulled up 10,000 video games. Not think I would have ever guessed
That's why it's
Splashdown.
underrated. Get it? Okay. The back says so much fun you'll wet yourself. So,
That's awesome.
dude, like I don't know. You talk about like jet ski racers if you're even into those. This is probably up there as my favorite one. It has everything like an old game once. You got like tons of unlockable characters, like random cool ones. The racetracks, they're always like changed because it's kind of like a movie set type say. You do like 2 laps and something crazy happens and the track changes a bit. Just overall, it's a really fun racing game, and I feel like everybody should at least give it a try, especially if it's $5. Like, it's a lot better than being in like a bargain bin. So
Baller. Yeah, never heard of it. Seems like a good time.
then you'll wet yourself.
I wet
I
myself.
might wet myself. Whoa.
I'm prone to doing that.
Good to know. Anyway, another overrated one for me. I don't know if this will piss you off or not, Tyler. We haven't talked about this specific Sonic game. I don't think.
Can I guess what you're gonna say?
Sure.
Sonic CD.
Yep. Game sucks butt, dude. It's terrible.
It's okay.
Really?
Has really bad level design. Seeing the past and future stuff is obnoxious and mostly useless.
You know who you're pissing off?
Who?
This is Jason's favorite Sonic game.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jason. It's a bad Sonic game. I'm not a fan of Sonic CD. No, it's alright if you like it. I just don't like it. Obviously, the soundtrack is great and iconic. Cool because it introduced Metal Sonic and Amy and all that, but I think it's one of the least fun Sonic games to play. And it sucks because obviously very good in terms of like replayability, but it doesn't matter how replayable it is if it's not fun. So
Played on the Origins collection. I liked it as much as I liked the other ones. I did get confused a lot with the future and past thing. I didn't know which way I was supposed to go most of the time. I didn't mind it. I'm not a big 2D Sonic guy in general, though.
I was gonna say because I could have honestly probably replaced with Sonic 1 or 2 as well, but I'd rather play one of those than CD. So I think CD is the weakest of
I need
the
to
OG
play
Sonic
Sonic
games.
Advance. I liked Sonic Advance as a kid, but I haven't played those since the original Game Boy Advance. And I wonder if I'd like those more than the original batch.
Sonic Advance was also a contender, but I still decided Sonic CD was lesser than. So Sonic Advance has a ton of bullshit deaths, like random pits that you can't see coming, and that drives me crazy. So I was thinking about that last night, but no,
Maybe
Sonic
2D
CD
Sonic
made the cut for least favorite 2D
Maybe
Sonic
2D
game
Sonic's
that
just
people
bad.
like.
Maybe it's just 2D Sonic is bad. Maybe the only good Sonic games are Sonic Adventure 1 and 2.
Maybe. Nah, I don't agree with that, but Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 are the best Sonic games. So
Yeah,
They're my
I'm
favorites.
definitely on the train of like, I prefer 3D Sonic over 2D
Oh, yeah.
Sonic.
I'm
a lot
telling you,
of
I've always made the arguments 3D Sonic's better because you could see what's coming. 2D Sonic, you're encouraged to go fast and you get punished for it. So
Yep.
Dude, it'd be cool. This might be out there, but can you imagine somebody made a mod of like Sonic 1 where it was kind of like on a plane where it was a little tilted, you could see more ahead of you as you're running? Dude, that'd be kind of dope.
can we just recreate Sonic 1 in the Doom engine? So it's like first person.
Man.
Do you see your hands like in the whole?
And then when we put it on the Doom engine, can we run it on anything?
That's true.
Yes,
Probably.
That's what
Yeah.
comes along with that.
Exactly. There has been a Sonic fan game made in Doom, Sonic Robo Blast 2. So game's pretty wild. If you guys have never checked it out, would recommend. Zach, underrated or overrated game? Go ahead.
Oh, since Sonic's on the mind, it's not a retro game. Just real quick, just want to say that Sonic Frontiers is underrated. That game's really fun. Anyway, beyond this next topic. I like Sonic.
A lot of people saying that was like too bland and open and stuff. I kind of really liked it.
I loved it
Like I'm
got
excited.
got that platinum trophy. It was a great time.
I even went back and played it on the hardest difficulty. Just did a little shmup ending for the
I
final.
kind of want to
boss.
play the original Switch version of it and see how bad it is. But
Oh God,
Don't
I've
ruin
not
it on
put myself
yourself
through it.
now. Don't
Yeah.
make it a bad game.
Another underrated game. Let's see. This one's an interesting one. Have y'all played Sin and Punishment?
yes.
It's on NSO, right?
It's on
I
NSO. I
haven't
think it's a
beaten
lot
it,
of
but I
fun.
played it.
I think it's a lot of fun. It's like a weird anime Star Fox. I had no idea what was going on in the story
really?
like at all. Like it's like a rail shooter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I have no idea what the story is. Even when I was playing it, I was actively confused. But I thought the game was a lot of fun.
And you're getting punished, essentially.
Yeah. I thought the game was a lot of fun. I don't know if I prefer it to Star Fox. It felt similar to Star Fox. But it's just like I don't know. I liked it enough to where I want to play the Wii version or the Wii sequel, I guess it is. But I never got around to it. I remember enjoying Sin and Punishment, and I feel like people always talk about Star Fox, but no one ever really talks about that one.
Yeah, big part of it is probably just because it wasn't localized here until like a few years ago, technically. But
Yeah, that's a good point.
but it is it's cool. I remember it being pretty hard. I want to pick it up again because I remember I got stuck somewhere and couldn't beat it. But this was like when it first launched on Switch Online, so
Yeah, you've grown
I'll check
since
her
then.
out again. Tyler,
All
give us a
right.
game.
We're doing another underrated.
Underrated.
Yep. So everybody knows Bomberman. Not a lot of people know that this one exists, and it's actually another racing game. Bomberman Fantasy Race.
Oh hell
And
yeah, an
the
Atlas
title.
game.
Atlas title. Nobody really talks about it. Think Mario Kart, but instead of like the carts, you're on like the animals, whatever they're called. I don't really remember off the top of my head, and I don't see them over here while talking. I don't know their name. Yeah, okay, well, there's different animals and stuff you ride on. Then, of course, you've got the bombs, you drop them. But then it's cool because, like, instead of just racing on the track, you can, like, bounce off the walls to get speed boosts and stuff. Just overall, it's a really fun game. It sucks.
Mario Kart World who?
Yeah, exactly.
Copying Bomberman Racing.
I
It's
mean,
a
this is
Bomberman
gonna,
racing like.
this is gonna set you back more than $80, but great game. I mean, it sucks because it's not easily accessible unless you go by other means. But yeah,
Breaking the
great
law.
game.
Breaking the law.
I feel like everybody should play it because not a lot of people know about it.
Is it like other Atlas games, where it's just like really expensive, or is it like did it get a higher print because it's Bomberman?
No, it's like $100 about.
Oh, okay, that's.
It's funny because one of them I say one of them because I ended up gifting one to Christian, and I got a really good deal on it because on the disc, like you're not gonna be able to see it really. You see how there's like scratches on the black part?
Uh-huh.
So that's actually just like an effect from him jumping that they have on there. And somebody was like, "Oh yeah, the disc is damaged, still reads though," and it was like a lot cheaper. So
You're like,
I thought it was
my brother,
special.
it's part of the game.
yeah, and I'm just like, I'll still buy
Please
it.
don't remove those.
That's funny.
Don't try to buff it out, but yeah. Bomberman Fantasy Race. Everybody give it a try if you can get it.
Interesting. I'll have to check that out. Bomberman is just a series I need to get more into in general. I haven't played a lot of Bomberman in my days, so.
Yeah, there's one
But-
game I really want to get, Bomberman on the DS, that not a lot of people know about, which is also like an Atlas title, I think. Bomberman Land Touch 2. Everybody knows about Touch 1, but Touch 2 nobody knows about.
I'm excited to get Panic Bomber for the Virtual Boy.
I still need to get that. I want that.
Isn't it a shame that's not a real Bomberman game? Makes me sad.
Yeah, I don't really know what it's gonna be, but I know it's a
It's like a Puyo Puyo kind of game.
weird. Why?
Yeah.
It's
And it's
really
like,
weird.
oh, a console that only has two colors, red and black, so they had to use, like, different creatures instead of different colors.
Very strange.
We just ruined Zach. He don't want it anymore. He doesn't want it.
Do you regret
voice it.
wanting the Virtual Boy set yet, or not
Absolutely not. I'm very excited. I just haven't bought anything because I just spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars getting a Switch 2. So
And you're
How
set
many
back.
did you pre-order like everything, like all accessories too?
I got the camera, the Pro Controller, and a case.
Good
So
stuff.
We were all in a
I got a
Discord
lot.
chat, and I was the first one in line on the Best Buy website, and before I even got through my line, Zach got through his line, got a Switch 2, got through his line for the camera, and I got
That's
through
fucked
his
up.
line for a controller. I was like, what kind of line is this? Line jumping is involved because
He's just
I'm
cutting.
just waiting.
It's because he was sweet talking the customer care person on
Yeah.
on the app.
They're like, whoa, this guy got it delivered to the wrong house.
Yeah.
Put him ahead.
Put him ahead.
And then Walmart wanted to dick me over, and they were like, "Oh, you got 1 minute left." 20 minutes later, what's going on? I thought I was gonna be the one to miss out. To be honest, I was like, "Yeah."
I know. I literally was on Walmart's website for 45 minutes and it never let me through. So,
Dude, it
I
told me
don't-
like your estimated wait time 26 minutes. Got down to 1. Never happened.
That was a stressful
kept
night for
waiting.
sure.
They eventually refreshed it, and it said 10 minutes, and I got through that time.
I know we're getting off topic, but I gotta ask: did you guys pre-order any other launch games or just World?
I just got the bundle, and then I pre-ordered Donkey Kong at my GameStop.
I need to like pre-order Donkey Kong yet because I feel like I feel like it's just gonna like I'll just pre-order that like anything else a month
Yeah.
before it comes out. I don't know. And then everything else I want to get, like I want to play Deltarune, but I assume that'll be digital.
Mhm.
Whenever the other games I want to get are like third-party games. I don't know even know if they have dates yet. Like Rebirth, I want to play Remake.
Mhm.
I don't even know if that has a date yet.
No Cyberpunk 2077?
No, I mean I've got the PS4 version with a PS5 upgrade already. I just don't. If I'm gonna play it, I'll play on the PS5.
Bravely Default?
I have thought about Bravely Default because I've never played that game.
It's really
and it's only $40. So I've thought about it, but I don't know.
People always complain about Final Fantasy not being turn-based anymore. It's like Bravely Default is right there.
Yeah, Octopath Traveler.
That was
Exactly.
a dude, Jason.
All right. Another underrated one for me. Final Fantasy 2. People are always talking smack on Final Fantasy 2. And you know what? Final Fantasy 3 is worse in my opinion. Final Fantasy 2 I think is a more enjoyable game. People complain about its leveling system. God forbid something be different and creative for once. God forbid I beat the shit out of my party members and they get more HP. God forbid. I think it's cool. I think it's interesting. It's fun. I'm sure some of my bias comes towards playing the Pixel Remaster version. I'm sure it's a lot clunkier on the NES.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's fun. And it's like you don't have to play the game that way. People complain that that's like the most effective way to level up. I'm like, no one's holding your hand and making you play that way. The fact that you can level up your characters in any way you want by just having them do different moves. I think it's cool that everything levels up individually. It's neat, interesting, different. The password system is silly, and people complain about it, but it's also totally harmless because it's like, you have to learn these keywords and then use them on other people, but it's like these keywords are highlighted, and it's like as long as you make sure to learn them, and then when you go to talk to someone, you could use a keyword. There's no punishment for using the wrong keywords. So it's like it's a little silly and clunky, but it's like it's an NES game. It was the second game ever in a big role-playing franchise. They were trying to do something different, and I think it's good. And it's also, one of the earliest games to have like a true like big story, which is kind of cool. So I think it's definitely underrated in that front in the narrative department. But yeah, I think Final Fantasy 2 is an enjoyable time. I actually liked it. It's a game that I'd be willing to replay, given the time, because there's a million games I want to play and I haven't played yet. But I enjoyed it quite a lot, and I feel like it gets way more hate than it deserves. It's not a perfect game, but it's not nearly as bad as everyone says. But I think a lot of the NES 2s, so to say, are overhated more than they deserve to be, because people are like, oh, the game doesn't tell you what to do, or oh, it's a little different than the first one. And it's like, first of all, sequels weren't really a thing yet in video games, so people didn't know that people just wanted more of the same thing that was maybe a little bit better. And two, you're telling me you can't stand not knowing to do the stupid crystal thing in Castlevania 2, but you're fine with the random fucking bush in Zelda 1. I'll always go back to the bush in Zelda 1. That's always going to be the point I make.
Everyone knows about the bush. Is common knowledge.
So yeah, it's common knowledge like Doki Doki Panic with Mario 2. It's like if you're in that ecosystem, but other than that, it's like you'd have no fucking clue.
No,
And
it's a
I
weird
think
decision for sure. Yeah.
I think we all just need to, we need to be gentler on the NES twos. That's what I'm getting at. So, Final Fantasy 2, you're all right, kid. You're all right.
Now, remind me, I can't remember. So Final Fantasy 3 here was Final Fantasy 6, right?
Yes.
And then 1
And
was
then 2
1.
here was 4. Yeah, and 1 was 1.
So when did we get actual regular Japanese Final Fantasy 2 for the first time?
PS1.
PS1. Okay.
On the Final Fantasy Origin Collection,
Okay.
which I actually have right here.
Nice.
My man got everything on deck, bro.
I showed that. I think I showed that game like 5 episodes ago, and I just never took it out of this room. So, and then Croc I brought in purposefully because of the comment from the beginning of the episode. I thought it'd be fun to show it off. So,
You know what else happened a couple episodes?
what?
We talked shit on this.
Yeah, and I'll do it again. Don't fucking tempt me. Overrated game, Gen 3. Zach, go ahead.
Since I only have one overrated left, I'll do a couple more underrateds.
Yeah.
Y'all ever heard of a game called Shrek Fairy Tale Freakdown? It is a class. It should be a classic 2D fighter that we're supposed to be talking about. It's a Game Boy Color, very goofy, like 2D platform fighter. But I think it's actually fun.
Can you tell me the title one more time?
Shrek Fairy Tale Freakdown.
Freakdown, got it.
Freakdown, yes.
Thank you.
I think it's actually really fun. It's a platform fighter. You just get go through an arcade mode and fight like Shrek characters, like the Gingerbread Man and like Pinocchio and like the Wolf and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm sure people have played this. I don't know if anyone else has played this, but
Never heard of it.
It was one of those like Game Boy games you just get because like it was like a character that your mom recognized. So they just buy the game for you.
It's so funny.
But if you go on speedrun.com, I think I'm like 7th in the world or something like that. So just, yeah.
Out of how many?
I think 6. They put me a peg down lower because I'm so slow. No, but
That's awesome.
yeah.
How funny! Yeah, absolutely never heard of that. But you've caught my attention, so now I'm curious.
I kind of want to buy I need to get a CIB copy actually.
You do need to get a CIB copy. I guarantee you, there's no way that's expensive. There's no fucking way. So. So let's do an eBay check real quick. Let's see how Shrek Fairy Freakdown is looking. What?
I mean, $129.
Whoa!
No,
That's all your speed run.
Is this a sleeper hit on the Game Boy Color?
Probably not.
This is a true hidden gem.
Let's see this. I don't think so. Oh, it's a sealed one. That's why it's $129.
Oh,
Okay.
I still wouldn't pay that for a sealed one. What?
Shrek Fairy Freakdown.
Fairy Tale Freakdown.
Fairy Tale Freakdown. $40. Fully CIB with the specific inserts. Can't beat that.
Heck yes.
Oh my god, this copy still has the shrink wrap on the box. You have to buy this. You're obligated.
If the Switch 2 wasn't coming out, it'd already be. But yeah, I need to get the box for that one because I only got to lose.
That's awesome. How funny. Tyler, you got another game for us? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's my last true like underrated game. The other ones are just like all just quick mentions I'll do later.
Okay, cool.
All right, we're going another underrated. This one, Game Boy Advance platformer. If you get, I don't know if just the cartridge is expensive, but I know if you want it complete, it kind of is. Platformer, Blender Bros.
Oh, yeah.
Never played it.
I've heard that's really good.
Yeah, it's a great platformer. There's like what they call like a mini bros, like different like just kind of like the, if I remember right, the weapons and stuff like that. They're all just different like mutated creatures and yeah, you pretty much just all battling for the universe type thing. But the levels, I feel like they're really unique, good. The music's good, and it's a good little like pick up and play game. You know, if you want a good like bedtime platformer, Blender Bros.
Hell yeah,
Blender Bros.
That's cool.
Who made this game?
Hmm?
Who made this game? Like what? Who? Is it a recognizable studio? Or was it something random?
Infograms.
Oh, isn't it Infogrames? Isn't it Atari? Infogrames.
I think so. I think
Infogrames.
they also made Clay Fighter Sculptor Cut on the Nintendo 64.
Oh, right.
The most underrated fighting game of all time.
Yeah, Infogrames is a label that will publish games that fall outside of the core portfolio of IP associated with the Atari brand.
The more you
Yeah,
know.
so it's
I like the one like a emo style Totodile looking guy on the back.
Oh hell yeah!
Emotodile. Yeah.
Totodile.
Perfect. All right. Next for me, I just did underrated. So overrated. This was my last overrated I wrote down. This is the one that I saw Zach would get mad about. Mario Sunshine. Mario Sunshine makes me sad.
This is on my
Just like how
underrated
you look
list.
sad.
This is on my
Is
underrated
it really?
list.
No way.
This is one of my shout outs for underrated.
So my beef with Mario Sunshine really just comes down to the level structure. I really wish they wouldn't have taken away the way they do it from Mario 64. Like, I don't like that you have to get all the stars or the shines in one level before you can move on. It kind of makes the levels feel like you're there for too long, and it takes away from the variety of a 3D style Mario platformer. I will admit the controls fantastic. Probably the tightest Mario controls in any game ever, so it does feel really good. The aesthetic of the game's great, the music is great. I really just don't like the level structure, so that's why I've never finished it, because I always end up not having a good time with it, and I end up dropping it. I want to force myself to finish it one day, and maybe my opinion will change by the end of it, but I kind of doubt it, because there's a lot of really annoying shines in this game.
There's a lot of really annoying stuff. And
but
the blue coins are annoying.
Exactly. So it's like credit where credit's due. Great music, great controls, great atmosphere. But I think that it has some of the weakest level structure of any Mario game.
Yeah, it's weird because so you don't have to finish a world to get the next world, but you do have to get like several.
Yeah, you gotta
shines.
do majority, don't you?
Well, so to unlock another like world, you do have to get several shines in the previous one just to get like a number of total shines. But to finish the game, you do have to finish, I think, 7 of 8 in each world, because the 7th shine in every world is like the showdown with like Shadow Mario, and you have to do that in every single world to get the last level unlocked. I think my biggest problem with Sunshine, with the level structure, is like in Mario 64. I was just streaming it a couple days ago, and I got to like the top of this level and I fell down. So instead of going back up there the whole way again, I just got another random star that's like over there. In Sunshine, like it's like you pick one and that's the star that's there. Like there's no like veering off to get like a random shine that's just available. Because it changes the level basically every time you pick, which I guess it allows them to do some interesting stuff. But I feel like I do like the sandbox of like, go to a level, I can go to a star I want in any order I want.
But I will say, one of the best community kind of like I don't know how you'd say it, like kind of like homebrew modded games I've ever played was Super Mario Sunburn. And I didn't finish this either, but it's basically they edited the game to be more like Mario 64, where it's like you could just kind of get like a star here, a star there from any level. And I think that really is my main problem with the game, because I enjoyed it a lot more when I was playing it that way. I still think that there's some extraordinarily frustrating shines to get. But I think that is the majority problem for me in that game for sure.
I was wondering what that mod was, because I seen it, but I had no clue what it was. But now,
it makes the structure more Mario 64 like. So it's like, you could do a shine at this level, and then the next level just unlocks. You could do that level, and then it'll unlock the next level, and then you can kind of hop around more. And I think it just makes it more refreshing than playing the same level over and over and over again. Because even when I play Mario 64, I don't like doing all the stars in one level at once, because I feel like I get kind of tired of doing this, starting from the same spot over and over again. I think that variety helps keep it fresh when you're hopping around. Uh-oh. I think we lost Zach.
Yeah, did he freeze?
He's totally frozen.
I was like, is he just hardcore staring at something? Or now I got side eye.
Oh no! It caught up. He went really fast. He went really fast.
Dude, like first you were frozen like this, and then it like went real quick and it was like
then you went at times 4 speed.
Oh no, y'all are fast for me. Okay, so I got a FaceTime, and it just canceled Discord, and I like. Okay, I'm back now.
Oh no, you're good. All right.
That was, dude.
We
it was
didn't
just
know
like-
you were secretly the Flash this whole time.
I was just gonna say, real quick, underrated.
Yes.
The reason I had Sunshine on my underrated list, I don't want to like defend all of its shortcomings. I just do think the game gets a lot of hate. Like people are like this game sucks. I don't think it's a bad game. I think it has some problems, and they could have handled it better with like not making you do all of one world like that. And there's a little bit too many blue coin shines and stuff like that. But I don't think it's a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
But that was my only defense I was going to give of it.
Fair enough.
I love it.
Anything else you wanna mention on your list?
For my underrated, I do have just one more, like just kind of a quick shout out. These games are well regarded, so I don't think they're underrated from like a critical reception. But I do think more people do need to try out the Oracle games for Zelda on Game Boy Color. I think they're like underrated within the series. Like I think they're both two very good top-down Zeldas that I feel like they just get overlooked a little bit. I don't know if it's because they're like the Capcom ones or because they're Game Boy Color or what, but I think they get overshadowed for like whether it be Link's Awakening or Link to the Past or Minish Cap. I feel like, but Oracle of Ages and Seasons both really good.
Makes sense. Tyler, anything else on your list?
I guess I'm gonna throw this overrated one out there because I'm surprised nobody mentioned it. One that we talked about on here. You know what it is?
Paper Mario? Is that in your door?
Yeah. You know, the game's good, but everybody praises it as
Yeah.
best Mario RPG game to ever live, and it's not.
Only reason I didn't mention it is because I feel like we're mean to it sometimes because we always bring it up as our example of games that aren't as good as people
But I gotta
say
throw it
they
up
are.
for the bit. Gotta make the bit. So
There you go.
yeah.
So-
If you've been watching,
Tyler
you
was
know a
also-
lot about it.
It was also on my list, Tyler, as an honorable mention because we've all brought it up. But thank you for bringing it up because it was going to be my segue into my controversial one. I think Paper Mario 64 is no better. I think it is just the same level of overrated as Thousand Year Door. I think Paper Mario 64 is a fun game. I don't think it's substantially better than Thousand Year Door in any way. I think it's just as fine to fun.
Absolutely incorrect, but that's fine.
Yeah,
You
it's
can
like-
be wrong if you want.
I like the game. I think I would even say it's a great game.
Thank you.
I think it's I think like great as in like 8.0, like nothing higher than that.
He thinks great as in like Kirby 64 is better than. Paper
Oh no
Mario.
no no! Kirby 64 is a terrible blight upon the
Watch your
world.
fucking.
Kirby 64 is just bad. But
Welcome back to our new podcast where it's just me and Zach. So
Pretty much.
I like Paper Mario 64. I think it,
But what's your fucking beef with Kirby 64? I'm tired of the slander every week.
I think I told you I played it. I played it like at the end of a stretch of playing a bunch of 64 games. I played it for 2 hours and it wasn't clicking, and I just haven't gone back to it. It deserves another
But
try.
you just said it's horrible.
It is. I did not like it. I did not like it. In my first playthrough, like that first world, I thought it was a bad video game, but I need to go give it another try. I wasn't gonna bring that one up.
Yeah, you fucking do. Next
I wasn't-
episode, we're canceling Top 5 NES and we're doing Kirby 64.
I wasn't gonna bring that one up. Tyler brought it up. I wasn't gonna say that one.
Shit means something to me, man.
Ooh, it's the N64. We have 3D models. Let's make a 2D.
oh, and he,
Froze again.
dude, Discord killed him. Discord
That's what he
loved Kirby
gets.
64.
We don't need to hear his bullshit. That's fine.
Dude, the frozen frame is great.
That's a great frame. Oh no!
Oh, he's
He went-
down. He's fast forwarding. Oh,
Time
It's
force
that
speed
big-
again.
he
It
can't
cut
that
off right
FaceTime
before your rant about how bad the game was, so it was perfect. We didn't hear any of that.
Okay, good.
You're-
Well,
You're like
my,
Kirby 60.
my roommate keeps FaceTiming me. But I think we're good now. I told her I'm recording a podcast.
You're like, please. Like, I'm trying to talk shit about one of my friend's favorite games of all time.
I was saying, why we have a brand new 3D console? Let's make a shitty 2D platformer out of it. Like that's just a terrible idea. Come on.
What's shitty about it?
It just, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. I'd rather play the pixel
Explain
ones.
yourself.
I'd rather play the pixel. Like I'd rather play Kirby, like Kirby's Adventure on the Game Boy than Kirby 64. I just don't. I don't know why that's what they did. I don't know.
It's
I love that I brought
great.
this
It's
up.
perfectly good. And combining your copy abilities to make unique copy abilities by combining two, it's fucking awesome.
Ooh, I've got a boomerang and I've got a dumb fire boomerang that feels just as shitty to throw.
Dude, if I could throw a fire
Sorry.
boomerang at your face right fucking now.
I'm sorry. Like I said, this game deserves for me to give it another chance. That's why I didn't bring it up, but Tyler brought it up, so I'm not gonna.
And if you
I'm not gonna
want-
just roll over and say I like it.
If you want a good game to throw fire boomerangs, tie the Tasmanian Tiger, screw Kirby
Ooh.
64.
Tasmanian Tiger is a good game. That's an
I
underrated
need to
game.
try it. I want to try it.
Hopefully you
I've
don't hear
not played
music
any
in
of
my
them.
head, 'cause whoever's downstairs.
All three of them are on PS4 now, right?
1 and 2. They never did an
Isn't one of them-
HD re-release of 3. You got 1, 2, and 4, which 4, they took the Kirby 64 approach and made a shitty 2D
Platformer. Yeah.
How weird.
Sorry, I just had to throw it in there, you know.
That's very strange.
And then they did like an
All right.
HD version of that, but never 3. Chrome Studios,
strange.
do it. Send me
Do
a
it.
review code. Thank you.
Kirby 64. Kirby 64 just caught us stray there. I was talking about Paper Mario 64, and it turned into a rant about why I don't like Kirby 64.
I know you still have to complain. You still have to explain yourself on Paper Mario too.
I think it's fine. It's a fun game. I think.
But you're contradicting. You're like, it's fine. It's overrated. It's better than Thousand Year Door. It's the same. It's an 8 out of 10.
No. I think it's just as good as Thousand Year Door, which I think is like an 80 out of 100. I think it's a good game. It has some problems. My favorite Paper Mario is Origami King.
Shut the fuck up.
It
I
is.
can't tell if you're
Stars
kidding or
fan,
not.
I don't know what you're talking about.
My favorite Paper Mario is Origami King.
Where are my Sticker Star fans at? That's the real question.
Never played that one.
I bought it at launch, and I remember I was so mad that I wasted money on it. I was like, this is not fun, even a little bit. It's a truly unfun video game. Tyler, you got any more that aren't bullshit like Zach's?
Not really. Kinda
Underrated
my
Pokemon Gen
list.
3.
Yeah,
Underrated.
You know, underrated is this thing right here. This guy right here. He's underrated. So you
Well,
know,
I wouldn't go to bat for Trico. I'd go to bat for Torchic and Mudkip, but
I'd go to bat for all three of them. All right, you got to show the love to all three.
I wonder if we're going to start getting Gen 3 slander soon, because up until recently, no one ever had anything bad to say about Gen 2, and all of a sudden people shit talk Gen 2 all the time now. So I wonder if we're gonna hit that phase soon where people are like, Emerald bad, actually.
You know how upset? Like, I feel like Gen 3 never gets like any kind of acknowledgement, because every time they do some special collectible, like for instance the Monopoly boards, Gen 1 edition Kanto, Gen 2 Johto, I was like, yo, we're gonna get a fucking hole-in-one, this is gonna be sick. Never happened. And then like there's like puzzles that they do, never happened. And it's
10, 15 years away from all these kids that grew up with Scarlet and Violet, like getting their own podcast equipment, and they're like, most underrated game in the series is Pokemon Violet. It's so good.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. I'm starting to see a lot more Sun and Moon defense recently, and I'm like, there we go.
They're aging
Where
up.
were where were you guys when I needed you?
They're buying their microphones.
They're buying their microphones. Underrated for me. The last one I had written down was Earthbound Beginnings.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's really good.
So, I think we've talked about it on the show before, and I told Tyler he could skip it and just play Earthbound and Mother 3 if he wanted to. I still stand by that, but I think this is definitely a game that gets criticized a little too harshly, and I think that it's because, it's an NES JRPG, and it didn't come out, in the States around the same time as Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior, Final Fantasy, but, just as enjoyable and good as those games. Has extremely difficult and long dungeons, just like those games do. But obviously, it has the charm of being part of the Mother series, so it has a lot of humor. It has the uniqueness of being more modern day. It has fantastic music. So I definitely think that it's a game that gets skipped often, and I think you could get away with skipping it, but I still think that is worth playing, especially If you're a fan of the other games in the series, I feel like it gets left behind just because of his age.
The first thing you fight in that game, like a lamp.
Yep.
Yep.
Or a possessed doll, or one of the two.
Something in the house, yeah.
Because it's obtuse, but it's obtuse just like almost every other NES game is. Like I was talking about Zelda 2 and stuff earlier. It's like it's fine. You just gotta let it go. Actually, I just noticed all of my underrated games were NES games, so that's kind of fun. I didn't even think about that.
Still, my only Mother game I finished is Earthbound Beginnings.
How far did you get in Earthbound? You said you got to like the desert area, right?
I'm in the desert, yeah. I didn't drop it for not enjoying it. I dropped it because something, I think it was like, maybe it was Tears of the Kingdom. Something came out, and then it just like snowballed into other things coming out, and I just never got back to it.
I get that. Well, that's it on my list. I didn't really write down any honorable mentions or anything. I feel like when we make lists, I always have way too many things to mention, so I tried to slim it down this time. Any other games you guys want to shout out? Underrated or overrated?
Underrated Diddy Kong Racing.
Diddy Kong Racing, yeah, that's a good game.
Don't be afraid, Zach.
Another underrated.
I had nothing else left to slander today.
Not today.
Another underrated, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. Go play it. All three of them are great.
I should
Can't
try
say
it.
much about the 4. I never played it.
I should try it. I think I have them all for GameCube. So,
Serious.
do they run better on Xbox, GameCube, PS2, or are they all pretty much the same? Do you know? Or should I just play the PS4 versions?
I mean, if you want trophies, I'd play the PS4 versions, but because they're better at graphics, upscaled stuff like that. But
True.
I think I only ever played the PS2 ones growing up, so I can't really speak much on which platform's the best.
Good to know. Good to know. We do have some audience write-ins. We appreciate you all. Let's see.
First
We
comment
could
kinda
go.
sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. How about we go Zach, Tyler, me, then Zach again? That's how we're going to read this.
Okay.
Alright, so I get the honor of Bird Dog Gaming, who says,
Yes.
Croc, Legend of the Gobos is overrated. Has anyone actually played past level
Go
1?
fuck yourself, Christian.
I'll have you know, Christian, that if you go on YouTube, I mean, well, actually, they're unlisted. So go on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, because this streamer doesn't like posting his live streams. And then look up Bird Dog Gaming, and then if you go into his past tweets, you could probably just search for it. Search Croc Legend of the Gobos, and you'll actually see links for people that live streamed the whole game from the beginning to the end. Yeah, it's Bird Dog Gaming. He does a lot of games. He does like Super Mario Land 2. He got quite a few streams on that one. He has some couple streams on Croc. He did Star Fox.
Did he finish Croc?
Yeah, he finished Croc.
I don't think he 100%.
Did he
of it.
really though? Like,
It's
did he
like
do the
Well, no,
like, the
he
secret world?
He didn't
No.
really. But yeah. So if you want to see somebody like actually play past level 1, highly recommend.
The Croc series, just not to dog on Bird Dog, but the Croc series is up there with my with Sunshine for one of my favorite things I've watched him stream. Croc and Sunshine were both some of my favorites.
No, I think he mostly put this comment in here just to annoy me, which is totally valid.
Yeah.
Yep.
We all like poking fun at each other, obviously. But no, Croc is not overrated. Unfortunately, I feel like all the OG versions of the game are pretty much irrelevant now that there is a new version that has controls that don't suck donkey ass. So you got those nice, beautiful analog controls. Christian, play the remaster. You'll have a good time. The original version is very frustrating and annoying because I don't know why they ever thought tank controls were a good idea for a 3D platformer. But the new release, absolutely prime.
Was this? Did it come out
Fantastic.
before? Did it come out before the DualShock?
I don't think so.
Yes,
I don't know. Let me see.
I want to get
Let me look
the
up
release, but like
Croc.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, but I know I want to get a physical.
Let's see.
But like, I
So
don't.
Croc came out September 26, 1997.
When did Ape Escape
The
come out?
DualShock released
Look at this.
November 1997, so literally 2 months later. Just missed it.
Yeah, maybe that explains it then.
If it was modern game and they would have just threw out an update. Would've been good.
But yeah, Croc definitely not underrated for sure. Frustrating, of course, but especially now, totally playable. Zach, want to go ahead and read the next one?
I thought I was.
Oh, yeah, another one?
I thought it was Zach, me, you, Zach.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it's me. I'm used to reading
it's
first,
me.
so I confused myself.
Zach,
It's you?
you said Zach, me, you, Zach.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Unless you want to read John's, go ahead.
You idiot!
Listen, I had no caffeine today except for Dr. Pepper. Not nearly
Actually-
enough. I've been raw dogging the
actually-
show without coffee
No,
or an energy
Craig-
drink.
Craig, read John's because I want to throw something in with Patrick's.
Okay. All right. John said, "Hello. John is back with another right for one game. I think is overrated. Zelda Breath of the Wild. He did write Breath of the Wild, just so everybody knows. So shout out to
Not
that.
on your side. That should be how the breath is spelled. Breathe should be spelled the other way. I agree. It's weird.
So I didn't really like the whole survival gameplay choices and your equipment breaking fast. And for my underrated game is Vigilante 8. It's my favorite car combat game. Yeah, it feels floaty and only having 3 weapons, but the and whammy system are awesome once figure it out and how it works, and it was cool. You see the weapons attached to the vehicles, and you can't forget why the alien as an unlockable character for beating the game with all characters.
Many games come back with unlockable characters like that, bro.
I know, I'm thinking, I saw someone tweet about it the other day. It did make me kind of sad. They're like, yeah, Doomslayer is going to be playable in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 remaster, but he would have just been an unlockable, not a DLC in the past. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's pretty valid.
Yep.
Unfortunately for these two, I'm with you on Breath of the Wild. I think the game's fine, but it's never been my favorite. That's not a secret. So
I see where people come from with a weapon breaking system.
yeah,
I think it's good because it forces you to like. I don't know, I do like having to pick up new weapons and not just use this. If you could just get one Guardian sword and use it the whole game, it wouldn't be as fun. I like having to think like, is it worth using this good weapon on this enemy, or should I use some crappy sword on this because I have those in spades. I don't know. I kind of like the weapon degradation system, and then you get the Master Sword and it recharges. So,
I don't like that you don't really get a choice, I guess, is the thing. Like, I like that the game encourages you to use different weapons, but I wish that you could still just use what you wanted without the limitation.
It's like,
because it sucks when you're like, oh, it's like I prefer to just use the swords, it's not the big old clubs or axes and things. It's like, oh, I'm out of swords, so now I have to use these weapons that I don't think are fun until I find another sword.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen some people compare it to like, have y'all played the original Halo or like Halo Infinite or anything like that? Mm-hmm. Like it's the same thing. Like you're dropping a weapon when it runs out of ammo. You're just picking up what you got, and you're it keeps things interesting. So you don't just use the energy sword the whole time and a rocket launcher the whole time. You're having to like make decisions on the fly and.
But I think for that to work, all of the weapons have to be fun.
So the problem is that you don't like some of the weapons. I guess
yeah.
What you're saying. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And that's personal. So I could understand if people disagree on that, but that's my stance, I guess.
How do you feel about Tears of the Kingdom trying to remedy that by letting you like attach things to weapons?
It's all right, but I still wish you could just repair shit.
Well, actually,
maybe if things would break and you could repair, that could be a happy medium.
No, 100%. I mean, think about what I'm playing right now, Oblivion. Everything you have is degradable, but you could repair it all too.
Yeah.
So it's like I have my armor, my weapon that I'm really enjoying playing, and it's like, oh, I broke it. That sucks. Let me just go back to the blacksmith and they'll repair it, and I can keep using it. If it had something like that, then I would be totally game for it. But I don't like when you have weapon degradation and you can't repair your weapons. I find that obnoxious.
Specifically, I'll actually join the train here. Specifically, the weapons you get for like finishing a dungeon in Breath of the Wild, like the special Zora spear and like the Gerudo like scimitar, those just break. And to get a new one, you have to like go buy a new one with like diamonds. So there's a way to get more of them, but I think those should be on a recharge system like the Master Sword. I think it should be like semi-permanent upgrades that you get to keep along with you for finishing that part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see though that apparently for Tears of the Kingdom for the Switch 2 version, like I guess if you have that app, there's a way to repair your weapon.
Mm-hmm.
But you need that.
I refuse.
That guy.
I fucking refuse.
It's so weird.
The app has some weird stuff. You can there's map navigation. Like it would be like head north to find this Korok seed. Like that's so weird that they put that in the map.
It's like
There's a
Siri
cool
telling
thing.
you what to do.
You can scan your creations though and download them. That's pretty cool. I think that's a cool feature. Like
It's
QR
walk
Yeah,
like
codes
neat.
3
to send.
miles. Turn left by the big oak tree to get a Korok seed.
It's literally that. I'm pretty sure.
And I don't think any of us really have any experience with Vigilante 8, so
Played it a bit
nothing
with
to comment
Jonathan.
on there. But I do believe you because you've written it about it more than once. So
Yeah.
I'll agree though that the mention of like unlockable characters, just in general, unlockable characters, like you said,
Yeah.
Tyler, should be a thing.
Yeah.
Like it's either you get them all or you gotta pay for them. There's no like unlocking people anymore.
Like, dude, I feel like if a game had a marketing campaign and that was one of their big marketing like things, dude, that'd probably do great. Like, well, maybe not, but it would just be cool to see somebody like being appreciative with it.
I just
But
what if it would do well with like people like us, but then if you tell people like
yeah, go to somebody that
the
just
room
buys
lock-
everything digital and all this stuff. Like, hey, you could actually unlock characters in here. Ew, that's too
yeah, I
much
don't
time.
want to.
Like,
you're like, I just want all the characters to be there. The fuck?
yeah. But yeah, I played Vigilante 8 a bit with Jonathan. I like all the car combat games. It's pretty good. I do gotta. I don't think I own the Dreamcast versions. I think he said that those are the best ones, so I kind of want to get those.
Yeah, I got the second one for Dreamcast, so I'm set.
So we got This Is Patrick. He says underrated for me would be Bust a Groove for PS1. It was a rhythm game right at the start. Yeah, right at the start of the rhythm game genre that got overshadowed by Parappa when that came out. It had zany characters and catchy tunes that made it a blast to play. The disco dance club themes were crazy, and crazy character designs, including the alien, made it too far niche for mainstream. I hope to snag a copy someday to play again. Overrated for me would be Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. I said my piece on that before, but a boring game that I never got the appeal. And Patrick, that is why I spoiled Chrono Trigger for you, because you don't deserve to have a great ending to a game, okay? Because Pokemon is fantastic.
But Gen 1
Actually,
is pretty
Gen
slow
3.
and boring.
Okay.
Gen 1 can be pretty slow and boring, though.
Yeah.
You got
it's
you got to
slow.
admit that.
Yeah, when me and Zach went back and started playing the original, I was like, man, I gotta swap these out to level them. It takes like 10 minutes.
Pretty much.
The box systems
Yep.
and the items are so you can hold like 10 items and like 8 of them are HMs and your bike, so you can hold like 2 items at a time, basically.
But, it's like a lot of that's remedies if you just play Fire Red and Leaf Green. It's
Yeah.
the best way to
Yeah.
play Gen 1 anyway, so.
Yep.
Or
I
Pokemon
kinda
Let's Go
Let's
Pikachu
Go's
and
fun. I like Let's Go.
Where's our Let's
Talk
Go
about
Wooper and Let's Go...
underrated. Those games are fire.
Yeah.
What was the rumor? Let's Go Wooper and Let's Go
Togepi.
Togepi.
That'd be so stupid. What a terrible combination of characters put on the cover of those games.
I would say
Let's Go
my Let's
Wooper.
Go Wooper. I don't care.
With Togepi right behind me. Sorry, Togepi, but
What a shitty combination. Togepi just turns around.
just cries. All right, I hope you all packed a lunch. Jason wrote in a long one. Of course, we had to leave this for Mr. Zachary. So if you want to go ahead and moisten your throat real quick, get yourself ready.
Okay. Yeah.
So much
All
fun,
right.
you'll get wet.
Whoa.
From Jason. Hello there, fellow underrated gamers, Craig and Tyler, and overrated gamers, Zach. That's pretty good. It's Jason here with some of my thoughts on underrated and overrated games. My first underrated game would be Eat Lead, The Return of Matt Hazard. Is this a real game?
Yes.
It's a third-person shooter.
It has...
game.
Well, hold on. Just keep going, because he might mention it.
It's a third-person shooter game. I wouldn't say there's anything special in the combat, but more in the story. As Matt Hazard knows, he's a video game character that has been through the early days of games to now the world of modern gaming in this new 3D worlds. It's a funny game which makes fun of a bunch of other games like Super Mario, Halo, and Doom. Is that what you're saying, Tyler?
Okay, he didn't say it. He said that it mentions Halo. So, like, instead of having Master Chief in the game, you got the Master Chef. And it's like Master Chief. And it's...
There you go.
It's a good joke.
For my second underrated game, The Godfather Part 2.
What's so funny?
Yeah, why are you laughing?
Because I know it's a good movie, but I can't do the fact that like the game is underrated. It's just so funny to me. Like, I don't know. Anyway, The Godfather Part Two. This game was a blast. Was blast for being bad, but I liked how different it was, at least at the time. I enjoyed that you played the story of Godfather Two as your own created character, seeing it through your eyes. Yes, it was your typical third-person shooting and driving, but to me, the real fun was taking over territories from other mafia families, then hiring mafia members to protect those territories, with the chances of other mafia families trying to take back said territories, and you have to protect them. My third underrated game would be the Magical Star Sign on the DS, a JRPG with great sprite graphics that I believe still hold up today. Story-wise, it's not your typical save the world, but save their galaxy, as your party needs to travel to 7 different planets to save it. Now it's your standard turn-based combat, but while in combat, on the top screen shows the 7 different planets, but when a planet or planets align the right way, the characters get a boost in power. Now for my
This game has been sorry, I was gonna say it's been on my wanna playlist for a long time, so it's good to know that he enjoyed it. Developed by Brownie Brown, who made Mother 3, my favorite game of all time. So
Oh, interesting. Maybe I'll keep it in mind as well. Where was I? Oh, now for my last underrated game, it may surprise you. It's Final Fantasy VII for the PS1. Underrated game, huh? Who am I kidding? Final Fantasy VII has to be the most overrated RPG of all time. Now I understand why this game is so popular, as it was a lot of gamers' first RPG. It was the first Final Fantasy to be in 3D cinematics and the music, but the way Square Enix milks the game is unbelievable. Of course, if this topic was about overrated modern games, we all know what remake would be on the top of that list. Okay, now with that out of the way, let's move on to my second overrated game. It really isn't a single game, but a game franchise that would be Call of Duty. I know the games are still really popular and selling the millions, but to me, every game in the past 10 years or so seems cut and paste. I agree. Just different looks, same game, and taking advantage of the players for battle passes and microtransactions of a full-price game. For my last game, I think it will be a bit more controversial than Final Fantasy VII take. Sorry, Craig, but Persona 5 Royal is a bit overrated. Now, I really did like the game, as I did earn the Platinum Trophy for it, but I just felt like there was too much story elements in it and not enough combat in it.
Welcome to Atlas, baby.
Now, I know the Persona series is big on story, but it just felt to me that it was more in it than other games in the series. Oh, and music I feel is some of the best in the series. I'll give it that. Well, that's my take on some of my most underrated, overrated games. I know this is a long one. Thanks for reading all my long essays, and keep up the great work.
Thank you for writing in, sir.
Thank you for writing in, Jason. But
Zach, do you remember that like 2-hour cutscene in Metaphor Refantasio?
No, actually, I don't. Because I remember you talked about it when you were playing it. I don't recall what it was, but I played the last chunk of the game in one sitting, so maybe it just got blurred for the whole game I played at once.
Yeah, I don't want to do spoilers on here, but I'll never forget where I was like, oh yeah, let me just do I'll just play a little bit tonight, and then it was literally like a 2-hour cutscene, and I was like, well, I stayed up later than I wanted to, and it's time to go to bed. And I didn't play my video game.
Text me what it was, and I'll try to remember.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Persona 5 has a lot of dialogue, a lot of cutscenes, but it's also just super long. I think if you were to even cut out all the side stuff, right? I think Persona 5 Royal might be one of the longest games ever, main campaign wise. If you're not skipping cutscenes and stuff, that's easily a 120-hour game to just do it front to back, without. Cool. Yeah, it's absolutely, am I wrong, Tyler? Super duper long.
Yeah.
So it's talk about getting your fucking money's worth, but it is just an extremely long game in general. So,
it is kind of crazy too how it's not too hard to miss, but if you do mess up and you don't get the actual royal content, you miss.
Oh yeah, you miss out on 40, 50 hours of content.
A shit ton.
It's a ton. So yeah, it's you got to know what you're looking at for too. But you're entitled to your opinion. It's Persona 5 Royal is very special to me, and I love it a lot, but it's not my favorite Persona, so I'm not going to take it as too much of a personal attack.
I remember when Jason was playing it, he was talking about following a guide for it because he was trying to get the platinum, and then I was like, oh, what do you have the counselor at, and he didn't have him high enough, and I was like, you should get on that. And he was like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? I was like, you need that one like pretty high before the end.
Yeah, there's two characters.
Less
It's
than
not
a
really a
minute.
spoiler, but yeah, two characters that if you don't have their social link ranks high enough, then you miss out on that whole second semester of the game. So
Yeah. But then
it's worth looking up a spoiler-free guide of who to make sure you hang out with.
yeah. And Call of Duty, as much as I still play it, it's definitely not as good as it used to be with how like all the money grabs and stuff. Like I said, I still enjoy it. I still play it every now and then. But like I feel like the last like really good concrete one was probably Black Ops 2. Like ever
That was
since
a long
then,
time ago.
yeah, it was. But like back like Black Ops 2 was like the first one we actually got like other cosmetic DLCs on, like the camos and shit. But like I don't know. Just COD recently
I
now.
still like
So
COD. It feels
yeah,
good to play. It
yeah,
feels good to
it
play.
does.
They've got that nailed down. It's just
It's good to play. It's a good like pick up, play a couple matches, get off. You know, maybe with the whole like solid skill based matchmaking now, you'll get really frustrated and it won't be fun. But I mean, like, it's still a good pickup and play. But I just wish they wouldn't have all the everything you gotta pay for. You want this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle character. All right, he's $25, and if you want all four, it's $100. And then there's this battle pass for Master Splinter, which you got to pay an extra $20 for to get Master Splinter, and you got to finish it within that time. Like you get like 2 weeks. If you don't finish it within the 2 weeks, then you're not getting Master Splinter. You paid for it, but you're not getting it. Essentially, how it goes.
Yes, sir.
I had to. I bought the Sabrina Carpenter skin for my roommate for her birthday in Fortnite.
Which
Sabrina
one?
Carpenter. I don't know. Sabrina Carpenter was in the game, and I bought it for her. I don't know which one it was.
I seen a video where it was like people having a meetup in Fortnite with Sabrina Carpenter. Like the
Yep.
one would be there, then the other would be there. They do their whole little emote. Then another one would come in. They do like an emote. Then like there was 5 of them, and then out of nowhere, Hatsune Miku came down.
And they
And
blasted
they did
her
an
ass.
emote. And then, yeah, they're just like boom.
Yeah. There's Sabrina Carpenter's were all dancing, and then Hatsune Miku came in there and started doing the Miku countdown thing. He was
Yeah,
like,
like,
1, 2, whatever. Miku, and then
It's like,
they just
bam!
blasted.
There was no more fun week on Twitter to see all the Godzilla and Hatsune Miku crossover stuff when they launched those skins at the same time. That was so fun.
I think it's a picture of Hatsune Miku like jumping at Godzilla with a sword, like the video. That was
One of my on the new iPhones and new iOS has been here for a while now, but you could have multiple backgrounds that you could just save and change to at any time. One of mine is a photo of Miku jumping with an AK and Godzilla's just shooting his beam into the sky in the background when he's like a boss on the map. It's beautiful.
it's so.
I'm like, this is what it's all about, man. This is why we keep going.
There was a whole season of Fortnite where Peter Griffin was like an NPC.
A boss, right?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
boss NPC.
So stupid.
I gotta give it to Fortnite though. Like as much as I don't really play the game, like you hear it all the time. It could be considered overrated, I guess, unless you watch Zach's like screenshot Switch gallery video. Then
I like
really
me some Fortnite.
That was
but
a great time.
I gotta say that the amount of like different characters and like different, I can't find the word I'm looking for, but like the amount of just different content they get in the game, it's
Just
crazy.
variety, yeah.
Yeah, like the franchises. That's what I was looking for. The amount of different like franchises they get to support in that game, wild.
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse because it's like it's cool because they did it first and they literally have everything, but it's also like I feel like everything chases that now, the crossover kind of slop. But
So like 15
Fortnite
years,
did it first, and Fortnite still is kind of doing it the best, admittedly. So
so like 15 years from now, like Zach said, when we have like other kids trying to make a podcast and talk about like Scarlet and Violet being like an underrated Pokemon game, then they're gonna also mention like somebody like yeah, and that guy Solid Snake, he got a great game in Fortnite. The guy from Fortnite, he's a good.
the guy from Fortnite.
But
You know what I wonder though? Like, did they pay like an insane amount of money to never run out of the license to use these characters, or is there like going to be a point where like they have to start like removing skins? I always wonder.
I mean, that's. I don't think they'll remove skins because these are like $20 a piece. That's probably the big
Yeah.
holdup. There was. Remember when they added Kratos and Master Chief, and there was always the rumor that they were trying to get Samus added, and Nintendo said no because they didn't want Samus showing up on like a PlayStation and her people have.
Yeah.
I'm sure it came down to like the licensing of like people can have Samus on their PlayStation forever, and they didn't want to deal with that. And that's the rumor that's why that didn't happen, and I'm kind of
Mhm.
sad because I would have totally bought a Samus skin in Fortnite. But
I know. I wish I would have bought Godzilla and Hatsune Miku. I was gonna do it at the time, but I didn't have it downloaded or anything, and it takes up so much space. So
it's a big. I'm getting on the Switch 2. The Switch 2 is going to play at 1080, 120 frames per second on
let's
handheld,
go.
which is hilarious.
Handheld is beautiful.
I played Fortnite for 800 hours on the Switch at 720/30, and now it's going to be 1080, 120.
It's gonna be total whiplash when you boot it up. You're like,
This game plays good. Yeah,
I wonder if they're gonna put Marvel Rivals on Switch too.
I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised.
We need to play that again, boys. We did it that one night. We had such a good time, and then we never played it again.
Classic.
There's just too much single player stuff to catch up on, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
It's funny, like speaking about like us playing something together. Every time, like we get into a voice call or something, and Jonathan's there, and Jason's always like, "Y'all didn't invite me," because he really wants to like talk to you guys. It's always great. One day we gotta like
can
get
invite
him in a voice chat with us.
Of course, we're always down to clown. We're just
Yeah.
hanging out.
Whenever Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out on the Switch, I'll set a replay of it and then I'll give my thoughts live.
There you go. That'll be perfect. All right, boys. Any other games we want to shout out? Do you think we let everything out that we had to let out?
I think we let it all out. To be honest, I mean, I did.
Because yeah,
Let it all hang out. Zach, what you got planned for the rest of your beautiful Sunday afternoon?
I'm gonna go from right here, this, and I'm gonna go to this, and I'm gonna start playing Clair Obscure on that screen. So
Perfect.
yeah,
Kyle, how about
I'm
you?
literally not gonna move.
Any plans, Tyler?
Just going to dinner with Patrick. Don't know what we're getting yet, but that's about it.
Hell yeah.
No.
I forget. Are you 4 hours ahead from me?
3.
3, okay.
Yeah.
It's coming up on dinner time if you want an early dinner. 4 o'clock.
But we were talking about like 5-ish, so
5.
we got
There
time.
you go.
It's 3:13
Hell
PM.
yeah.
EST.
Probably gonna have me some lunch after this. Play some more Oblivion. Have to edit this stupid fucking podcast when I want to play Oblivion instead. It's not fair. But I'll probably edit this first, and then I don't know what I'm feeling for lunch yet.
Show Sonic.
Oh, that's fun. Good times.
Yeah.
Well, hope you all enjoyed the show. Episode 29 next time. Top 5 NES games. Make sure you write in your favorite NES games. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you share it with your friend, your coworker, your grandma. I'm sure they'd all enjoy it. And goodbye to you all. We'll see you all in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Adios.
Take care.